Filling in for Darren Clayton this evening alongside the mainstay of Linton football broadcasts over these last many years, the Big D, Dan Phillips, and we're at Roy Williams Field in Linton for the opening game for the Linton Miners in the 2015 football sectional. It's week 10. That means the regular season is over, and the old coach's cliche is all the records go out the books. Everybody starts over at 0-0, but actually looking at the whole season, the Linton Miners 8-1 officially on the field. The Miners undefeated at 9-0, ranked number 3 in Class 1A. They are in the top bracket of Sectional 48, and the opponent tonight is Tell City, the Tell City Marksmen, who are down in Single A. I say down in Single A because for the most part they've been a Class 2A football team over the years, but with the reclassification last year, the Marksmen find themselves matched up with rival teams like Perry Central for them and Wood Memorial and Tecumseh, and they find themselves here a long way away, about 2.5-hour drive from Tell City, here at Linton, where their 1-8 football team will try to score a huge upset against the Linton Miners. The Miners, according to the Jeff Sagarin rating system, a 53-point favorite in this football game, and trying to win their 5th straight sectional. The Miners, I think, 4 in a row, or going for 4 in a row, and they have won 7 of the last 8 sectionals, Big D.
I think this senior class has won 3, and I think there was one before that, so I think we're going for our 5th sectional. Like you say, Perry Central's the last one that's got it, I think, in the last 10 years. The Miners have been on a heck of a run, and that's a team we've never seen before, the Tell City Marksmen coming up from Perry County. And, you couldn't have said it more better. The records go out the window. They're 1-8, but they play Heritage Hills. They play Gibson Southern. They play South Ridge. They play Perry Central. And those are teams that will give any 1A team a battle. So we're going to have to be ready and come out tonight and not be lackadaisical at all.
You're right. The Miners have won 4 straight sectionals, and they've won 7 of the last 8, so they're going for their 5th in a row, as Linton has just really dominated Sectional 48 over the years. The Miners last lost in the sectional in the 2010 season. They lost to Perry Central, and you have to go back to the 2006 season prior to that before the Miners lost in a sectional matchup. And, in fact, the last 3 times that the Miners have lost in a sectional, it has been to the same team,
I believe
the Perry Central Commodores.
It's either been Linton or Perry Central. And when I first started doing the games, it was Perry Central was the big dog, and it was always an uphill climb to get to them. And then we kind of turned over the corner. We really have dominated the Commodores the last couple of years. You were with me last year, Perry Central, when they had the running clock, which was something I never thought I'd ever see. But that's next week. They got Wood Memorial tonight, probably going to advance. Everybody expects that to happen. And, the Miners just have to come out and play a controlled game. They need to lay it on the line, set the balance right off the bat, and eliminate mistakes. They've done a good job the last couple of weeks on that mistake thing. That's what we got to do tonight.
Miners have only given up as many as 22 points in a football game this season. That was in week 2 in a 46-22 drubbing here at home against Sullivan. Other than that, the Springs Valley game where the Miners won 62-20 in the last 4 weeks, the Miners have given up only 14 points. They shut out North Davies, gave up 7 in a big win over North Knox on the road, beat Eastern 69-7 in week 8, and then week 9 last week here at home on senior night, beating North Central 62-0. And the Miners have just been on one incredible roll all season long, racking up touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. And really a lot of teams boast of a 2-headed monster or a 3-headed monster. This Linton football team's got a 4-headed monster.
Definitely a 4-headed monster, and any of these 4 guys can make huge plays from the running back of Garrett Mason to the 2 wings, Pierce Jackson and Mitch Eberhardt, and, of course, the quarterback as a playmaker in Tyler Muir. And we saw last week Kendall Williams came in, 1 carry, 30 yards for a touchdown. And number 4, Keaton Cox comes in, and he's able to break on any play. And that's not counting the passing game with Jacob Clothier, who's now caught 4 TDs in 2 weeks, and Pierce Jackson across the middle. A whole lot of weapons for the Miners. If you stick to the inside, try to stop that inside game, we're going to pitch it, make big plays. If you play the outside game, Garrett Mason's going to run all day. If you drop back in coverage, Tyler Muir is going to keep the ball and make giant plays. So it's a big task for any defense. You talk about those scores, Keith. Most of those scores came against our JV towards the end of the game. North, we had a return for a touchdown. I believe North Knox, that's the only way they scored. So the Miner defense has been pretty tough all year. We have given up a couple of long pass plays, but other than that, they've done a real nice job.
Tell City's only win came back on October 2nd when they won at home against North Posey. 25-19 was that final. Since that time, they've lost to the number 1 team in Class 3A, Gibson Southern, 77-16, and then lost to Forest Park in a conference ball game last week, 30-14. They're coached by Josh Teague, who took over in Week 3 after Coach Ronnie Robinson left. He coached last year to a 3-8 record and actually won a sectional game at Eastern Green last year in Class 2A, but he resigned after the second ball game, and they were 0-2. They had lost to Perry Central 33-0 and Heritage Hills 49-7, and then Josh Teague, who was just one of the assistant coaches in the first 2 ball games, took over the program, and he's picked up that 1 victory in 6 losses. I'm Keith Dodds along with Dan Phillips from Roy Williams Field in Linton. High school football sectional matchup between the Linton Miners, ranked number 3 at 8-1 against 1-8 Tell City. The winner will play next week against either Perry Central or Wood Memorial, and Perry Central is about a 40-point favorite in that football game. So I don't think there's any way, I'm not dissing Wood Memorial, but I don't think there's any way that Perry Central, number 10, is not going to be in that semifinal matchup. And if the Miners are there as well, then it'll be a game at Perry Central. But we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Tonight the opponent is Tell City, and Big D had a chance to interview both head coaches. We'll start with this conversation with Josh Teague of Tell City after a 60-second break. Linton Miners football on QT. 93.3 WQTY is a production of Media 5 Sports. Back in 60.
Linton's a good football team, and I mean, as far as the competition goes, we're used to seeing their ability. I mean, I don't think there's much of a drop off between a Southridge and a Gibson and a Linton.
Yeah. The long road trip. I don't know if you've made a long road trip this year. How do you think your fields will acclimate to that?
Felt a little quicker. We went to Eastern Green last year, first round of sectional, and it shouldn't be an issue.
Your senior running back, Jared Hall, I think I said that one right at least. He's been kind of your leading rusher, and also the Kessinger kid, number 5, seems to be a jack of all trades. How much confidence you have in both those guys?
Jared's he's a senior. He's a good leader for us. He's a wrestler. He's a tough kid. He's a warrior, and I mean, I have a lot of confidence, and he's going to come out and do his best and do his job. And Cameron's an athlete, and we need him to. In order to win games, any team needs players to step up at the right moments and make big plays, and he's been able to do that here and there for us.
What kind of things do you tell your defense against a team that has 3 or 4 different kind of weapons? What are you preaching to them this week?
They got to read their keys and stay disciplined and be where they're coached to be, and then execute once they have the opportunity to.
Coach, I really appreciate taking the time up here, and I wish you best of luck. You say you're from Bishop Dwenger, so you're used to big-time games.
Yeah, damn, I don't want to go anywhere.
All right, I appreciate it. Nice talking to you. That was Coach Josh Teague of the Tell City Marksmen. We'll take a 60-second timeout. You're listening to Linton Minor Football, WQTY 93.3 FM, a production of Media 5 Sports.
Field in Linton. I'm Keith Dodes along with Dan Phillips. Our coaches' interviews are brought to you in part by your friends at HiCom. Here's a reminder from HiCom Security Services in Lyons. Protecting your home, your business, your family, and your property is as easy as calling HiCom, because HiCom offers cutting-edge technology, affordability, and service by local people you know and trust. Call sales manager Derek McKee to find out more. You can call him at 800-819-8141, or you can go online and get more information on HiCom's website. It's Call HiCom, HICOM, callhicom.com. It's Linton hosting Tell City in the first round of sectional number 48 in Class 1A. The Miners shooting for their 5th straight sectional title. They've won 7 of the last 8 sectionals in sectional 48. And moments ago, Big D, Dan Phillips, had a chance to visit with Linton head coach Brian Oliver.
Friday night football, Coach. Sectional time for now the second part of the season. Tonight the Miners face the Tell City Marksmen. I know we've never really played Tell City. I don't think we ever have. What are your first observations about watching them this week in film?
Watching them in film, I mean, they got some good size and they got pretty good quickness on them. I mean, they do a lot of different things. Offensively, you look, they're going to try to run a full house at times, and then they got the ability to spread it out and throw it. They'll go 3 wide, they'll go empty, and then they got a good quarterback and they got a good receiver. Number 3 and number 5 for them. I'm pretty impressed with the way they play on both sides of the ball. So it should be an interesting game.
Get the cart going by right at the most perfect time. Tell City, of course, plays in the PAC conference, so they play Heritage Hills and Gibson Southern and Southridge. You think that will play any role in how they look at coming to Linton?
I don't think they're going to fear us one bit. I mean, because they played a lot better competition, especially when you play Gibson Southern, Heritage Hills, and Southridge, those teams like that. And they're not going to come here and be, it's a Linton Miners. They know nothing about us a whole lot. They might have read some things about us in the paper. They've never experienced this place or anything like that. So I don't think they're coming in here with no worries. They have nothing to lose, so I'm sure we're going to get their best shot tonight.
They're a pretty young team, as you mentioned, the senior quarterback Miller, but really only about 3 seniors that really play big time in their offense. Let's talk about the importance of the balance of pass and rush. How important do you think that is for the Miners?
Oh, it's always vital. I mean, we got to be able to do both of them whenever we want. That's going to be key for us in any tournament game. Now, I know there's some games we might need to run the ball a little bit more or pass the ball, but that's just a scenario. But we like to be close to the middle as we can, and 50-50 and run pass. And that's why these last several weeks we really worked on our pass to make sure we have that come this time of year.
Well, obviously, Jacob Clothier is your deep threat, has made some great catches, and Pierce Jackson caught a lot across the middle. You got Jacob Figley involved in the game as well. Talk about the experience of the minor team. I mean, we've won every sectional that these seniors have been in. You think that plays a role coming into the postseason?
Well, you look these last several years for these seniors. Look, these last 3 years we've made some tournament runs. 2 of those years have been semi-state run, and last year was a regional run. It's a lot of extra practices these kids get throughout the year. You're probably looking at another 2 seasons of practices these kids get that they've been able to receive over the last several years. So, I mean, they're seasoned, they're ready, and it's their senior year, and they want to show what they're capable of.
All season long, you've tried to work in some depth and get some young guys in, either do some guys resting and all that. Doug, explain how important depth is as we get down the season.
Oh, it's huge. I mean, this time of year, every game matters. And so if you have a kid that goes down, we got to be able to have a next man up that can step up and perform for us. And that's what was key for us these last several weeks, resting a few guys that were banged up pretty bad and resting them and creating that depth, especially up front, and then getting Keaton Cox back. That creates depth for us in the skill position on both sides. So it's huge for us in this tournament run because some guys are going to get banged up, different issues are going to come up, and we got to be able to trust the next guy that's coming in. And they had to get some game time experience as well.
You talked about some guys banged up. We had a lot of guys last week, had some guys step up. What are we looking like on the health progression?
We shouldn't have anybody out tonight. We're full go. We're ready for the tournament now.
Last thing I'd ask you is tonight coming into the game, what do you hope to establish right off the bat?
Oh, one thing, the biggest thing we need to establish right off the bat is just coming out and just taking it right to them and take any hope out of them real quick. We can't come out and play lackadaisical or anything like that. We got to be right there where we need to be in our playoff mode. We got to have that game face on and be ready to come out and play 4 quarters and play off time. And during this time, you need to play your best, and we should be playing our best right now.
Worst thing you can do with the team that's traveled that far is keep them in the contest. How important is safety with the ball tonight?
No, you got to
not important.
Yeah. Well, any kind of playoff game or any big game, you got to be able to take care of the football, and we just got to continue to keep doing that and take care of the football and just be able to go out there and put up the points and finish their drives and capitalize on their mistakes if we've been able to force a turnover there and just come out and play about as perfect as we possibly can.
Excellent, Coach. I appreciate talking to you. Hopefully a big smile on the face after the game.
I hope so. Thank you.
That's Coach Brian Oliver with the Linton Miners. We'll take a 60-second timeout. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on WQTY 93.3 FM, a production of Media 5 Sports.
Here in Week 10, the Linton Miners hosting the Tell City Marksmen. Our broadcast is brought to you in part by Midwest Satellite. If you're looking to reduce your TV bill, call Mike Morin at Midwest Satellite to sign up for Dish Network. Packages starting as low as $19.99 a month, and that includes free installation, free movie channels, and also a free Hopper HD whole home DVR system. Mike will even pay $50 on your first bill. So again, don't call any out-of-state numbers. You don't know who you're going to be dealing with, and you're probably not going to get any kind of service if you have problems after the sale. That's not going to happen when you call Mike Morin at Midwest Satellite. He's going to take good care of you, so call 847-8848. We're also brought to you by the Anderson Poindexter Funeral Homes in Linton and Duggar, and the new Ming Family Funeral Home opening soon on Highway 58 in Odin, serving you with funeral pre-planning and at-need service since 1930. Names you've learned to trust: Anderson Poindexter Funeral Homes and the Ming Family Funeral Home, soon to open in Odin. Linton Marching Band, the Marching Miners, out on the field. We're just ahead of the playing of the Star Spangled Banner as Linton hosts the Tell City Marksmen. And we'll come back with the starting lineups after this timeout. This is a Media 5 sports production.
Coaches, officials, and your fellow fans, the respect they deserve. One reason is appreciated. We ask you please enjoy the game. And now we ask you please rise, remove your hats, as they let the soccer band play our national anthem.
Our starting lineups are brought to you by Midwest Natural Gas. If you want your energy source to be clean, efficient, cost-effective, and comfortable, then you just described natural gas. Natural gas is still your best energy choice. Call Midwest Natural Gas for rebate information at 384-4150.
Up front for the Tell City Marksmen on the right side, the tackle is Alex Bruner, a junior, 6'2", 225. The guard is Javier Mendez, a senior, 5'8", 175. The center is Nick Smith, just a sophomore, 6'1", 190. On the left side, the guard is Logan Gaynor, a junior, 5'11", 185. And a freshman, Nathan Matheny, they tell me that's how they pronounce that, a freshman, 6'5", 240. They'll be blocking for the leading rusher, and that is Jared Hawhey, number 3, a senior, 5'7", 155. 246 yards, 3.0 a carry, 2 touchdowns. Quarterback is Gant Miller, the other senior, 5'11", 160. He's their second leading rusher with 229 yards, 7 rushing TDs. Cameron Kessinger, number 11, is a 6'1", 180 slot back who'll carry the ball and catch it. He has 181 yards on the rushing side. He leads the team with 23 catches, 402 yards, 2 touchdowns on the receiving side. When they go wide open, they've got Davin Lawrence, number 11, a sophomore, 6'1", 155. He has 10 catches. Brian Reed, number 88, a sophomore, 5'11", 150. Has been out for 4 or 5 weeks, his first week back. He has 17 catches, all of that in the first 4 weeks. Shane Lasher is the tight end. He's a junior, 5'10", 165. Facing them on the minor side of things, the inside linebacker Avery Gentry sat out last week with a groin injury. He and Pierce Jackson kind of head up that inside backer core. Pierce Jackson, the leading minor tackler with 90 tackles, Avery with 50. Up on the outside, big job tonight expected from Chad Trent, a senior, Kendall Williams, a junior. Both those guys will have to have contained. Up front, Garrett Basin at the defense even had 4 tackles for loss just last week. He's a junior. And Zach Figley, called him Jacob in the interview with Coach. He's going to kill me. Zach Figley, a senior, 6'1", 160 in the middle. T. Pig and Dylan Morris, the 2 singers. 6'3", 235 was Morris, second leading tackler with 70 tackles. Mitch Eberhardt, Trey Passon, and Tyler Muir are the defensive backs. On the defensive side of things for Tell City, Stephen Wheatley and Logan Gaynor are the 2 linebackers, both juniors, 1 and 2 in tackles, 70 for Wheatley, 69 for Gaynor. Kane Kellums is a other third linebacker, also doubles as a tight end. Defensive ends are Whitaker Lyons, just a sophomore, 5'8", 160, and a freshman, Jeff Miller, 6', 185. Austin Bates and Alex Bruner, 2 juniors, are the defensive tackles. They'll have a tough job tonight with the minor offensive team. Tyler Muir, the leading rusher with 901 yards, a junior quarterback. Fullback Garen Mason with 630 yards, a junior. The 2 wingbacks are seniors. Mitch Eberhardt had 101 yards last week. He had 782. And Pierce Jackson, the other senior, as well. All 3 or 4 of those guys are over 400 yards apiece. Tight end is Zach Figley. The wide receiver, Jacob Clothier, leads the team with 300. Actually, doesn't lead the team. He has 341 yards. He has 8 touchdowns. Pierce Jackson has 21 catches for 493. Up front, Ian Fonseca and Dylan Morris. On the left side, Pryor Pope is the center. Caden Walker and Owen Sparks on the right side.
Low crowd.
Yeah,
really almost for both sides. Decent turnout across the way for the Linton Miners. They know they're a huge favorite in this football game, so hopefully we've got a huge radio audience for you, and we appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate all the sponsors who make our games possible, and some of those people are Southside Express in Linton. Southside Express has everything you need when you're in a hurry, and they're locally owned and operated. Also, Grunman's on 7th Street in Vincennes. Yes, Grunman's has work shoes and boots, but they also have today's styles in dress and casual looks. Stop in and see their entire lineup at Grunman's on 7th Street in Vincennes, one of the few places around where they still offer shoe and boot repair. I'm Keith Dodds, filling in for Darren Clayton this evening, along with Dan Phillips. And fortunately, in the 5A sectional, where I've been broadcasting most of the season, there are only 4 teams, so all 4 teams get a first-round bye. It timed out just perfectly. With Darren being gone, I can slide in. I want to thank Thad Van Deventer, Shakamak native, for filling in for Darren and for myself last week. Appreciate his coverage. He's from the Indianapolis area now.
Didn't give him too much grief.
He's done some big-time stuff statewide, so we were very thankful and blessed, and the Lord was good to us in timing things out and working everything out with the schedule. So we certainly appreciate his help and want to give him praise for that also.
Darren is out in Las Vegas, and that reminds me, we want to make sure to mention best wishes to Jansen Franklin. He's in the cross-country, I believe, is it semi-state or?
Semi-state tomorrow at Brown County.
So that's a big deal for him. He's gone a couple of years. He's one of our good runners. Also, the volleyball team, I believe they are playing tomorrow as well. So in the volleyball sectionals.
A lot going on.
A whole lot happening. And like you say, Keith, I look across the way, and there's a good-sized crowd there, and you look in the south end zone, and usually that is full. It's a beautiful night. There's no rain.
As long as the rain holds off, it's a beautiful night.
We've been all right, and I know the kids. I know we're heavily favored, and all of that, but the kids do see the people in the stands, and they do feel that energy. So you can bring a transistor radio, put on the headphones, and listen to us, but I also think you need to come out and support these kids when they're playing and line up this field. Linton's got a great reputation for this 1A football at this level. So hopefully if we come back here, we'll pack this place out.
Our kickoff brought to you as always by Bob Swit City. Kick off your evening with the best pizza in the area, sandwiches, side items, everything, all your favorites from Amy at Bob's. And we've got it here in the press box.
Oh, it's my first of the year, Keith. I'm feeling pretty good.
Been great. You're just a phone call away also. Call right now, 659-BOB. That's 659-2623. Amy will have it ready when you get there. She's still open till 8 o'clock, open from 4 till 8, every Wednesday through Sunday. Bob's Swit City. The Miners in all red tops, red pants, blue numbers outlined in white, the red helmets. And they are going to be kicking off to Tell City. Their colors red and white tops, red pants, red numbers with the white helmets, TC on each side. This is a football program that has struggled of late, but back through the 70s and 80s, they were a dominant football team under head coach Bud George, who came from the North Knox area.
Yeah, they were a very respected program, and they're trying to get back to it. I think Hawhey, number 3, and 5, Kessinger, are going to be the two guys that are back.
Kicking off, short kick, fielded at the 25-yard line. They'll bring it up to the 30, and across the 30 out to the 32-yard line is where Tell City will take the football.
Kind of been doing that all year, kind of kicking around the 20-yard line. I believe that was number 24. That would be Whitaker Lyons who picked it up. And rather than kick deep, he's been doing that most of the year, so that's a planned thing, and the ball is up at the 33-yard line.
Tell City has it 1st and 10. They'll move from left to right as we call the game for you here at Roy Williams Field. Marksmen in white jerseys, red pants, red numbers. They'll come to the line. Their senior quarterback, Gant Miller, wears 22. Got a wide open look here on their formation out of the shotgun. Miller back to pass right away, throws it complete at the 37-yard line. And that's all they're going to get with Davin Lawrence, a sophomore 6'1" kid, their receiver.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to try to do tonight, Keith. I think they're going to try to spread that ball out and force us to kind of play a little bit back and not have the pressure. Downfield to make the big hit was Dylan Morris from the tackle position.
2nd and 5, pickup of 5 there out to the 38-yard line. 3 receivers wide to the near side, 1 split out over to the left as Tell City goes left to right. Miller out of the shotgun has Hawhey to his right, gives the ball to him, and Hawhey gets up across the 40, out to the 41, going to be short of a first down by a couple of yards. 3rd and short coming up for Tell City on the first drive
Several Miners
of the football game.
Right there, T-Pig, one of them, Avery Gentry, the other one, number 31. Good to see him back in action. A big 3rd down play for the Marksmen right off the bat.
Broadcast brought to you by the Asphalt Doctor in Bloomfield. For all your paving, seal coating, striping, and repairs, call the Asphalt Doctor for a free estimate, 327-4446. Tell City, 3rd and short. Again, 3 receivers to the near side. Same look, a little bit wide open. The give is to Hawhey, and he's going to be hit and stopped short of a first down. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. So the Miners are holding there steadily on 3rd and short. 4th and 2 coming up. In fact, they lost a yard back to the 40. 4th and 3
really surprised.
Is what the Marksmen are going to look at, and they'll go into punt formation, I'm sure.
Very surprised that they didn't go back to that pass play, and they test that right side of the line, which is away from Dylan Morris. T-Pig out there along with Garrett Mason, but the one getting off the pile is our leading tackler, and that is Pierce Jackson. Nice work by the defense.
Muir and Cox are back to receive for Linton, down to our right around the 25-yard line.
Quarterback is the punter, Gant Miller.
Miller bunts it away. Nice kick to the near side. It hits at the 32, and it is down at the 28-yard line. That's where the Miners will take over. On the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, about 2 minutes into the football game, 9:52 on the clock, no score. Our broadcast brought to you by Baszler's Market in Linton, featuring great weekly grocery specials and a wonderful selection of produce. Baszler's proudly supports the Linton Miners. by Linton Family Pharmacy, now offering several kinds of vaccinations. Get more information at Linton Pharmacy. A proud Miner supporter. See them online at lintonrx.com. The Miners with a man in motion to the near side. Fegley comes set, and we've got a whistle before the snap, and we've got offside against Tell City.
Wow, that's not a good way to start for the Marksmen.
Our broadcast also brought to you by Sullivan Automotive Group with 7 franchises under one roof. Highway 41 in Sullivan, home of 6-day-a-week service department. By Gene Martin, public accountant in Linton. Gene says, best of luck, Miners. He's backing the Miners all the way, as always. A big Linton Miner supporter, Gene Martin. Linton, 1st and 5 after the offside penalty by Tell City, moving right to left. Muir back to pass, throws it deep over to the far side, and it is incomplete. Clothier, the intended receiver over there, was at the 40-yard line of Tell City. Tyler, that time, just a little bit too much air under.
Too much air, trying to go for the jugular right off the bat, and just a little too long. Unfortunately, didn't throw it under.
2nd and 5 coming up. Key Associates of Linton and Connie Puckett, located on Main Street, a proud sponsor of the Linton Miners. Key Associates says, good luck, Miners. 2nd and 5 for Linton. Man in motion. Jackson to the far side. He takes the football, gets across the 35, gets out to the 38. Going to be close to a first down, and it's going to be a first down.
Gainer, the leading tackler, middle linebacker, gets over there, makes a tackle, but I like the fact he had a lot of room to roam there. Gets out to the 37-yard line. The Miners' first down of the contest.
Clock is moving, 9:25 left in the first quarter. Linton with the football for the first time. They held Tell City 3 and out. There's no score. Fegley moves over to the left tight end position. Another man in motion. Here's a pitch to Eberhardt. Strings the play out. Looking, there's a flag on the play. Eberhardt's going to be run out of bounds across the 50 out to the 47, but this one likely going to come back with a push in the back or a hold.
Yeah, and I don't know where it was. It looked like the Miners were kind of in front of Eberhardt, but the flag came from the side at about the 37. And that's going to move the ball 10 yards from there, so that's going to be a big penalty.
It'll be 1st and long. Shields Hardware in Linton, one of our tournament sponsors, featuring the area's largest selection of electrical needs, hardware, plumbing supplies, paint supplies, and paint. Shields Hardware says, go Miners.
That's all the way back to the 27-yard line. As I said, a 10-yard penalty. So now we're looking at 1st and 20, and that was a pretty good gain by Eberhardt. We had to give that back. Now they're in a 5-man front, Tell City is.
Out of the shotgun, Muir barks out the signals. Tyler, a little swing pass, a little bubble screen out there
nice
to Jackson. Makes a catch, gets out to the 30, stays on his feet, and fights his way to the 31, maybe the 32. Going to pick up maybe 5 on the play. 2nd and 15. That's what it looks like right now.
Broke the first tackle, made the guy slip and fall. Number 28, Kellums, might be the one out there.
Football is put down at the 31-yard line, so a gain of 4. Makes it 2nd and 16 for Linton. That holding penalty really pushed the Miners back. They're at their end of the field down to our right.
Yeah, and those are the kind of penalties that we've talked about in these last 4 or 5 games, that we've done good the last couple weeks, but they can hurt you in a game like this.
Tyler Muir rolls to the near side. Short passes over the head of Eberhardt, way too high as he was throwing it on the run to the near sideline and out of bounds. So 3rd and long coming up for Linton. Our broadcast brought to you by Kramer's Tree Service in Linton for all your residential and commercial tree needs, plus stump grinding and free estimates. Kramer's Tree Service, a big Linton Miner supporter, says good luck, Miners, here in the tournament.
Boy, and Eberhardt was wide open about the 40-yard line. That would have been a big game play. Probably would have got the first down. End of 1, North Central 8, North Knox 7. That was a 35-0 Warrior win.
Yeah, North Davies and Tecumseh are the other games in the lower bracket of Sectional 48, an 8-team sectional. Muir calls out the signal, rolls the same way to the near side. He slips and falls, now gets back up. His knee didn't touch down. He rolls to the far side, trying to make something out of nothing, and he's going to get a first down. Stays on his feet. He's down to the 30, cuts it back in, and smacked down at the 34-yard line of Tell City. And Tyler Muir shows the explosiveness that he has been capable of and has shown most of the season, as he gets a first down all the way down to the Tell City 34.
Now that was a true scramble if there ever was. It looked like the exact same play before. He came to the near side, which is the side Keith and I are on, Tell City side. Then he tried to switch, pivot, looked to his right, slipped, didn't go down and was able to get all the way to the right side, down the sideline, outran their linebacker. Kessinger probably saves a touchdown. We're at the 34 of Tell City.
2 years ago when Tyler was a freshman, I didn't think he'd ever grow to be 5'8".
Yeah.
He's 5'8" and still growing, it looks like. What a football player he's become. Here's Eberhardt stretching the play out to the near side. He's got the 30 and puts his shoulder down and plunges out of bounds, short of the 20-yard line.
That's what you like to see out of Mitch Eberhard, Singer. He run the ball hard. He did not duke out of bounds, and really he put the hit on Lawrence, number 11, who's kind of holding his right shoulder a little bit.
He picks up 13 down to the 21-yard line. So the Miners on their first drive started at their own 28, had a holding penalty, but a big third down scramble by Tyler Muir, the big play in this drive so far, at the 21. No score, 7-14 left in the first quarter. The clock is moving. Linton hosting Tell City. Pitches it back to Jackson, rolls to the far side. There's the 20, cuts it back, puts his shoulder down and knocks a Tell City player backward. And he tiptoes the sidelines and gets a touchdown. I thought he was going to go out of bounds with that big hit that he knocked one of the Tell City players backwards. But Pierce Jackson takes it down the sideline and scores on a 21-yard touchdown run.
Pierce never, ever, ever gives up on a play. And I really thought he ran right into one of his own guys over there, danced down the sideline and goes in from 21 yards. That's a 7-play, 72-yard drive. And 54 of 61 has been Wilson, and Keith, the ones he's missed, all blocked.
High snap.
There we go.
And the Miners going to have to try to turn it into two.
Passing.
Pass inside, and it's incomplete. So the kick fails on the bad snap or the mishandled snap, and on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, first quarter, 6:58 left. It's Linton 6, Tell City nothing. I'm Keith Dodds with Dan Phillips. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 sports production.
Yo! Delicious frozen yogurt in Linton is the perfect destination for a cool, good-for-you treat. Come try some of our amazing flavors. Then top off the flavor of your choice with over 40 different toppings to choose from. New flavors added weekly. Stop by downtown Linton today and see why it's yo delicious.
The Linton Miners on another great regular season, says good luck in the tournament from Welch and Cornett Funeral Home. And Skinner's Towing in Linton, your 24-hour wrecker service featuring a secured storage facility. Skinner's Towing says good luck Miners. Some of our tournament sponsors, we thank all the folks who have been with us, not only this season, but seasons past. This is our 7th year, Media 5 Sports, presenting all of the Linton Miner football games and our first of what will be at least 90 basketball broadcasts for all 5 Greene County teams, boys and girls basketball, a week from Tuesday, Big D, if you can believe that. White River Valley at South Knox.
It's hard to imagine that we're already in the playoffs.
Well, the IHSAA, in order to avoid overlapping the boys and girls tournaments, has moved the girls basketball season up a week. So it is a week earlier.
Well, we had a 38-yard kick the first time around. It went around to the 20. That seems to be the MO for the Miner kicking unit.
Luke Wilson tees it up.
There it goes.
Nice kick, short, and a fair catch called for at the 25-yard line.
Well, you'll take that all day long. I can't figure out why. That's 24 Whitaker Lyon.
And the spot is at the 24-yard line. Tell City will take over, down 6-0 on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. Our broadcast brought to you by Shea Lynn's Florist and Gift Shop, located at 69 North Main in downtown Linton. Shea Lynn's is proud of the Miners, says good luck tonight and all the way through the tournament. This could be a long tournament run for the Linton Miners. This could be the year. McDonald's in Linton offers all-day breakfast. Stop in before or after the game. McDonald's in Linton, open till 1 a.m. Another little wide-open look there by Tell City. Miller out of the shotgun, looking to throw to the near side, and is caught at the 29-yard line. That was Kessinger. I'm sorry,
6.
It was 6, Stevens. Mason Stevens, a junior.
Stevens has made a lot of catches this year and has missed some time to injury. Jacob, I don't know why I'm calling him Jacob. Zach Figley, number 5, leads the team in quarterback rushes, hurries this year. He kind of forced that pass quick, and Kendall Williams, number 22, was right there to make the tackle.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5 for Tell City, moving from left to right, trailing 6-0 to the Miners with 6:20 left in the first quarter. Out of the shotgun, Gant Miller. G-A-N-T, Gant Miller looking to throw. Throws it to the left side this time and incomplete. He led his intended receiver, Cameron Kessinger, just a little bit too much. It's going to bring up a third and 5.
Yeah, he looked like he had him out there a little bit. Chad Trent was out there from the outside backer position.
At the 29-yard line, our broadcast brought to you by Elliott Insurance on Main Street in Linton. Proud to be a Linton Miners sponsor. Elliott Insurance says go Miners. Notice how they all want to say go Miners. Everybody in this Linton area, businesses, fans, they are really excited about this Linton Miner football team, and why not? They're very proud of them. Again, Miller's in trouble, and he is sacked at the 21-yard line.
Dylan Moore, 78, got there first, and then Chance Howard, the sophomore, got back there to finish him off. And nice job by the defensive backfield because Miller had a chance to unload it. And Tell City 2 possessions, 2 punts.
3 and out on their first possession, but each drive started out looking like it had some potential.
Yeah.
They'll have to kick it away, and the Miners look to have good field position. Again, Keaton Cox is back with Tyler Muir. Normally you don't see your quarterback back in a kick return setting, but Tyler's so explosive. There's a short punt by Miller. It comes out of bounds. He hit it off the side of his foot, and it didn't even make the 35-yard line.
And that was, again, Chance Howard, number 52, got there to put pressure. Might have forced Gant Miller to kick that ball.
The Miners are going to get great field position here at the Tell City 32-yard line.
Well, exactly what Tell City's coach, Josh Teague, would not want to start off with, giving the Miners a short field. We just drove all the way down the field and put that first possession in.
Miners trying to take Tell City out of the ball game early, not give them any hope in this ball game. Muir throws to the end zone, far side for Clothier, and he makes the catch inside the 10-yard line. What a catch by Clothier.
Their defensive backman, cornerback Lawrence, jumped before the ball got there, and Clothier hung underneath it and made the catch right on the sideline.
At the 9-yard line. Well, Clothier showed really good patience. I just keep thinking about him coming in as a reserve, taking over for the injured Grant Stom.
What a play.
Pressure situation that he was in as a youngster. Really has matured nicely. There's a give to Eberhardt. Tries the middle of the field. Gets across the 5, but stops short of the goal line.
A tackle that time by Wheatley, 44. And, boy, you bring that play up that he made that catch against Fountain Central. That really sealed that game. In a scramble by Bo Eaton. That was something else. And
talking about Bo Eaton, I talked to him down on the field before the game. He's here as well, one of my favorite former Miners. And the Miners are looking at the 3-yard line here. 2nd and goal. Muir in the backfield, gives the ball up the middle to Garrett Mason, and he's in the end zone. 2nd touchdown of the period for the Miners, and they go up 12-0. We'll see if Coach Ollie will go for the 2-point conversion here since the extra point kick was mishandled.
Well, it looks like he's got the kicking team out, but as I said quickly in that first time, we've had 7 points blocked and 2 field goals blocked. If there's one area that needs some work, it's this particular area, and not in the kicking. Luke Wilson has done a great job kicking.
Going to try the conventional extra point, and Wilson boots it up there. And it's good. On the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, 4:44 left in the first quarter. It's Linton 13, Tell City nothing. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 sports production. CVS in Linton. It says go Miners. Also by Gene Hall and Gordon Wright at Farm Bureau Insurance. Call your friends at Farm Bureau Insurance, Becky, Erica, Gene, and Gordon. Go Miners from Farm Bureau Insurance, serving the Linton area for over 40 years.
There's that Go Miners again, Keith.
Yep. Same thing from Goodman Heating and Cooling. Monty Goodman, your local Ream dealer. Call Monty at Goodman Heating and Cooling for a free estimate.
Well, I wonder if they tell this guy to run the ball this time. Nope.
Kickoff is going to bounce at the 20. It's picked up. They'll go about 4 yards, and Hawhee is taken down.
And that's Keaton Cox, number 4, right there immediately. That ball put in kind of the dead area there where nobody was at. Took a bounce straight up, and that allowed the minor kicking unit to get down there quick.
Ball will rest right at the 25-yard line. Tell City has it 1st and 10. 4:38 left in the first quarter, and Linton up 13-0. Broadcast brought to you by Tangles Styling Salon, Highway 54 in Linton. Trendy, modern, up-to-date styles for the entire family. See Linda Goodman at Tangles. They say also, go Miners.
The Arrows are 7-2 this year, Keith, and
they
are
are.
up
They've had a fine season.
They're up 15-7 in their sectional game.
Miller out of the shotgun, senior quarterback, back to pass, flush from the pocket. He spins it, tries to get away. He's in a lot of trouble. He slips and falls inside the 5-yard line.
Caden Walker kind of gets the reward, but it was Avery Gentry, 31, that did all the work on the blitz, kept pushing Gant backwards, Miller backwards, and then Caden Walker come flying in. Caden hadn't played in a week as well. Boy, he took that. That might be the biggest loss of the year on a quarterback sack.
20 yards back to the 5-yard line. 2nd and 30. Tell City now lurking in the shadows, figuratively speaking, the shadows of their own end zone. Tell City in the central time zone. That's why we get started tonight. Kicked off at 7:30 rather than the conventional 7 o'clock. Miller on a keeper this time across the 5, gets out to the 6, maybe the 7-yard line, picks up 2. 3rd and very long coming up.
2 22s run into each other. Kendall Williams comes over and makes the sure tackle. Fakes it up the middle. Boy, Tell City's in dire need of a big play, Keith, and down 13-0 right now. I mean, they almost have to go. They won't go for it, but they've got to have a big play here, or the Miners are going to get the ball again on a short field. Actually seeing Chance Howard at defensive tackle and Caden Walker at defensive end, along with Morris and Figley.
Tell City's got Stephen Wheatley in the ball game right now as a fullback, and Tell City's going to ask for timeout. We'll take timeout as well. 3:06 left in the first quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard at Linton in the football sectional. It's the Miners 13, Tell City Marksmen nothing. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 sports production. Play clock is not set yet. Still sitting at 0. Now there they go. Gant out of the shotgun at his 1-yard line. 3rd and 28. Throws it deep down the side, way past everyone. Incomplete. 4th down coming up and along, so Tell City will punt again.
Intended for Brian Reed, number 88, but again, Zach Figley, number 5, another second, and Zach might have had a safety back there.
Miners should get great field position once again. As we remind you, our broadcast brought to you by the Greene County Daily World, wishing all area sports teams good luck. Watch your Tuesday paper for the weekly Athlete of the Week announcement. Call Lisa and ask about their current subscription specials at the Greene County Daily World. Kick is short, fielded by Muir at the 36, goes to the middle of the field, 30, 25, breaks a tackle. He might take it all the way, cuts away, stumbles and falls and dove for the goal line, but he stumbled out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
Cannot believe they would kick the ball to Tyler Muir, and he had that one. He was in the end zone. He just tripped himself up with his own good moves, and there was a crushing block from sophomore Keaton Cox that laid out one, if not two, marksmen, and that ball is sitting at the 3-yard line. .245 to go in that first quarter.
Actually, a spot, they're going to officially rule it at the 4, Big D.
Okay.
And the Miners down to our left with an extremely short field. Once again, Mason takes it right up the middle and gets his second touchdown in a row.
And he might have scored from the 100 yards away on that one if he just ran out of gas.
Mason has scored on a 3-yard run, now on a 4-yard run. And the Miners in the first quarter are up 19-0 with 2:41 left in the first quarter.
Well, that's what you want to do if you're the Miners. You don't want to give them any thought that they might have a possible chance. And really, Telt City has not helped themselves. 2 short fields for the Miners. And here comes another opportunity for Luke Wilson to kick the ball, and he knocks that ball a mile.
On the way and good. So on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, 2:41 left in the first quarter. Linton 20, Tell City nothing. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 sports production. Warm up the bus. In Linton to sign up for Dish Network. Packages start as low as $19.99 a month with free installation. Also, you get free movie channels. Also, you get free Hopper HD whole home DVR systems. And Mike Morin is going to pay $50 on your first bill. Again, don't call any out-of-state 800 numbers. Call your local guy, Mike Morin, who's going to take good care of you and service you like you deserve to be serviced. Midwest Satellite, 847-8848. Miners up 3 touchdowns. It's 20-0. Wilson with the kick, a high short kick, going to be short. Fielded at the 32, and they just fall on it.
Boy, that's a tight end, Whitaker Lyons. You would figure he'd pick that ball up and get another 4 or 5 or 10 yards. Instead, he just falls right on it.
Maybe they've had some trouble with some kickoffs, and the coach has just decided we're going to fall on it and not worry about fumbling.
Well, somebody else did that in, I believe, Eastern, that we kicked the ball short and the guy would just catch it and fall on it. I could see if it was me, Keith. You know, they don't want me lumbering down the field.
Going to call it the 32-yard line for Tell City. They've started at their own 33, their own 24, their own 25, now their own 32. The last time they had it, they started at their own 25 and lost 20 yards on a sack. And it gave Linton a real short field when the Miners capitalized.
Yeah, both those series is open with a 5-yard gain on both of them, but they couldn't get anything else happening.
See if they pass on first down again. Miller rolling, throwing to the sideline. It's incomplete. Intended on the near side right in front of us over here. Mason Stevens. It was incomplete.
Nice defense by Kendall Williams. He just got between the ball and the player, and only if he'd have thrown that short, Kendall would have picked that off and ran for a touchdown. Had a pick last week and almost got a touchdown. Gant Williams having a little bit of trouble on the passing tonight. Just 1 of 5 for 5 yards.
He's a senior quarterback, but this is still a relatively young Tell City football team. Their first year in Class 1A. They're normally a 2A team.
3 seniors on the offensive starting, and Williams, Gant Miller has thrown for 1,053 yards, so he's had some success.
3 receivers. 4 receivers, actually, 2 to each side. A little bubble screen, and passes incomplete to Cameron Kessinger.
Well, he's getting no time to throw the ball, Keith. The ball gets to his hands, and he's in shotgun formation. And that time there were 2 Miners that were right there. He gets it, and he has to throw it immediately. Kessinger wasn't ready for the ball, but even if he was, Chad Trent was right there to put a hit on him. He would have knocked the ball out.
3rd and 10 for Tell City. The winner will play, obviously, next week, most likely against Perry Central. And that ball game, if it's Linton, it will be at Perry Central. In fact, if Perry Central wins, they'll be hosting the game regardless of who it is. There's a long pass incomplete on 3rd and 10. So Tell City will punt, and the quarterback, Miller, will stay out there in punt formation.
That was intended for Reed again, number 88, and misread there. He cut his pattern short, and the ball went like he was going down the sideline. Of course, Eberhardt was with him pretty much foot for foot, 2:27. Still to go in this first quarter. Tell City still without a first down.
Tell City's last winning season was in 2013 under Ryan George. They finished 6-4, but prior to that it was 2006 before they had a winning record of 6-4. Short punt, high punt, takes a Linton bounce. And at the 41-yard line of Tell City is where Linton will take over 1st and 10. The Miners, the last 3 drives have started at the Tell City 32, the Tell City 4, and now the Tell City 41. After another 3 and out, Tell City does not yet have a first down.
Yeah, you can't, if you want to even have a fighting chance against a top-level team like the Miners, you can't give us a short field.
2:17 left in the first quarter, 20-0 Linton on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. Miners out of the shotgun. Man in motion to the near side, takes the football. Eberhardt turns up the middle, gets across the 40, the 35, and brought down at the 34-yard line. Going to gain 7 on first down.
2 linebackers, Gaynor and Kellums, come up to make the tackle, but about a 6-7 yard gain inside the 35 to the 34. That is 26 yards now on 3 carries for Eberhardt. We're seeing Chad Trent out on the near side as a split end. Seen a little bit more of that in recent weeks. Actually, we're going four wide, unusual this year.
Jackson in motion, takes the football, runs it over to the far side, looking for a block. He turns it upfield, across the 30, gets down close to the 25, got a first down.
Kessinger makes the tackle, and I don't know how wide a football field is, Keith, but he started off over here on the wingback slot, went in motion on our side, and went all the way.
Yeah, he ran a long way.
To the other side for that gain.
Picks up 9 yards officially. 1st and 10 for Linton at the Tell City 25. You're listening to WQTY Linton. Linton Miner football from Media 5 Sports. Eberhardt up the middle again.
It's Keaton Cox there.
Don't tell me I'm going to have to get my field glasses out.
I got him. Gaynor makes the tackle.
Cox, number 4, takes the football across the 25 down to the 21. He picks up 4 yards. That means I got to take one pair off and put another pair on. That's how bad I am.
You're working in overtime.
I'm getting lazy. Old, can't run, can't walk, can't see, can't hear.
Can't sing.
Other than that, I'm okay. Here's Eberhardt stretching it out to the near side, turns it upfield across the 15.
My goodness.
What a hit across the 5 all the way down to the 1 yard line. And Eberhardt, these Miners runners are just putting their shoulders down and punishing the Tell City defenders.
Bad thing there was it was Chad Trent that took the brunt of that hit. Mitch was not sure if he wanted to go left or right, and he just put his shoulder down. Chad got the drill of it.
Gets 20 yards down to the 1 yard line, 1st and goal from the 1. Miners just making it look very easy. And as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Linton comes into this game a 53-point favorite. There's a give up the middle to Eberhardt, and he scores easily, untouched on a 1 yard touchdown run. So a short field again pays dividends for the Miners. They're in the end zone for the 4th time. 16 seconds left in the first quarter, and the Miners go up 26-0.
Well, they're just dominating on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know that it matters where we get the ball. They're just big holes. We just had a short field, but I think there's several plays that would have been busted wide open.
Wilson will try to add another extra point. First PAT try failed. This one looks really good, plenty good on the way, and it is good. On the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, 16 seconds left in the first quarter at Roy Williams Field. First round sectional action. The Linton Miners 27, Tell City Marksmen nothing. I'm Keith Dodes along with Dan Phillips. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 sports production. Five-star community. We are worth the drive. Speaking of drives, looks like the Miners next Friday going to wind up probably playing down at Perry Central. It's a long drive.
We've made it the last 2 years in a row. Kicked her deep that time.
To the 6-yard line, out to the 20-25 up the middle. Hawhee puts his head down and returns it out to the 30 for Tell City. They have yet to get a first down. They'll have it with 10 seconds still to play in the first quarter.
Ben Burris, number 72, one of the Miners there, along with Trey Passon, number 25. Right at the 30-yard line.
27-0. The Miners have had the football 4 times. They've hit pay dirt on all 5 drives. Working on a short field on 3 of those. Very, very short field on 2. Now Miller is over center. They'll move from left to right. Handoff is to Kessinger. He tries the near side, and he's hit behind the line of scrimmage. You're going to lose a yard or 2.
That's the end of the first quarter with a Dylan Morris tackle.
After 1, a loss of 1 back to the 29-yard line when we return after 1 quarter from Linton on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. The Miners 27, the Marksmen of Tell City nothing. Back in 60 seconds. This is a Media 5 sports production. Where Linton is on top here at home, 27-0.
155 first quarter yards for the Miners, negative 15 for Tell City. You can't get more dominant than that, Keith.
Tell City now will move from right to left. Again, over center. The give is to Kessinger, tries to go to the far side, turns the corner up and gets a couple of yards.
They get their first successful play in a while, and we got a flag.
On the play.
And it's a hold.
It's going to come back.
Yeah, it's a holding. Already saw it.
Flag is right on the 30-yard line, so this will take Tell City back to the 20. They'll actually wind up getting a yard. Kessinger will get credit for a yard, and then the 10 yards will be marked off. They'll go back to the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 19.
Yeah, they had a little bit of success that time, and I think we saw why. They got a hold on that far side. And
Mason Stevens is split wide to the near side. Kessinger in motion. Going to string the play over here to the far side, and a short gain on the play.
Tried to come back, number 3, I think it was Hawhee, and he got first hit by Avery Gentry, and then Pierce Jackson came in and put a big hit on him as well.
No gain at the 20-yard line.
He tried to go against the grain. He had a big 70-yard run against Forest Park last week.
At the 20-yard line, 3rd and long for Tell City. Miller throws it across a little slant-in pattern for Stevens. It's incomplete. He should have caught that football.
That one hit him right in the numbers.
He was going to get pounded once he caught it. Maybe that's what caused him to miss the catch. And it's 4th down in a punting situation for Tell City, and things continue to get worse for the Marksmen as Linton wanted to try to take Tell City out of it early, and they've pretty well got that going in the right direction, leading by 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think you hit that on the head, Keith. It looked like number 6 felt Everhart coming in from that corner.
He was going to take a lick.
Uh-oh.
Nearly blocked. Nice kick this time, the best one of the night by Miller. Fielded at the 45-yard line by Keaton Cox to the 50, 45-40 over to the far side, stays in bounds, and stopped short of the 35 of Tell City. So once again, really good field position for the Miners.
Lasher and Hendershot are going to make the tackles. That's the first punt return by anybody other than, Pierce Jackson had a couple, but usually it's Muir that kicked away from him. But again, the Miners got the ball at the Tell City 37-yard line.
On the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, 10:57 left in the half, 27-0 Miners from the Tell City 37. Be 1st and 10, moving from left to right.
Well, you almost got a feeling that they're going to try to hit Clothier. He's out here one-on-one on Kessinger, one of the better players for Tell City. A lot of green space out there.
Muir takes the football.
Mason
gives it to Garrett Mason, who goes across the 35 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, I was obviously wrong on that call. Gainer's going to make the tackle and a nice 6-yard gain right off the bat.
Down to the 31. 2nd down for Linton. 2nd and 4.
13 yards now, 3 carries for Garrett Mason. The Miners have rushed for 134 yards and passed for 27.
Again, out of the shotgun. In motion is Eberhardt. Tyler Muir back to pass across the middle. Wide open, and it's caught by Pierce Jackson. Nobody even close to Jackson. He takes it into the end zone, and Tyler Muir has a touchdown pass.
Tyler's thrown 2 and 3 and 4 touchdowns the last 3 weeks, and that play was just, we've seen that 3 or 4 times this year. That corner bites up, the safety bites up. All he's got to do is throw it so that Pierce doesn't drop it. Pierce makes the catch. Didn't even really have to turn on the jets. 31 yards out.
10:15 on the clock, 2nd quarter, and Linton running away with this one. Kicked by Wilson on the way, and it's good. And on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, 34-0 Linton early in the 2nd quarter. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 sports production.
Yo! Delicious frozen yogurt in Linton is the perfect destination for a cool, good-for-you treat. Come try some of our amazing flavors. Then top off the flavor of your choice with over 40 different toppings to choose from. New flavors added weekly. Stop by downtown Linton today and see why it's yo delicious.
McDonald's in Linton, one of our tournament sponsors, offering all-day breakfast now. That's a great deal by McDonald's. Breakfast anytime. Stop in before or after the game. McDonald's in Linton, open till 1 a.m. by Shea Lynn's Florist and Gift Shop in downtown Linton. Shea Lynn's, proud of the Miners, says good luck tonight and throughout the tournament. Make a long run from Shea Lynn's.
Halftime between the Warriors and the T-Birds, 13-8 in favor of North Knox.
Kick is fielded at the 8-yard line. Hawhee up the far sideline, has some room to run. Takes it out across the 30, out to the 33-yard line.
Decent run that time, and Kendall Williams, 22, out there, along with, I think, Bill Smith, number 23, on the tackle.
Tell City has it just across the 30-yard line. 10:04 left in the first half. Tell City still looking for their first down.
They're just looking for anything to give them some positiveness, and
They'll start from their own 33-yard line. Red and white, Tell City Marksmen. Gant Miller, senior quarterback, out of the shotgun. Takes the football, swings it quickly out to Kessinger, makes the catch, breaks a tackle, gets out to the 39-yard line, pushed backwards. A nice gain of 6 on first down. They've shown the propensity for being able to complete some of those short passes.
That quick pass out there almost picked off. Cox is going to make the tackle. The pressure came from number 10, and I think he's going to get hit with a late hit.
It's against the Miners. This will give Tell City its first down of the game.
Yeah, that
15 yards at the end of the play. It's going to take the football across the 50 for the first time for the Marksmen. Down to the 45-yard line of Linton.
Big penalty there. Just got there a little bit late.
Marksman right in front of our press box window right now at the 45 of Linton. Miller out of the shotgun, scrambles to the far side, tucks it, looking, throws it deep down the sideline and well out of bounds. He did a nice job, the senior, just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he had to run for his life. First, Zach Figley got him out of the pocket. Then Dylan Morris was there, and like you say, he did a good job getting it out. Tried to hit Stevens, but it was way over his head.
Stops the clock at 9:29.
Zach Figley has done this all year long. I had him for something like 16 quarterback rushes. And Miller's had to run for his life. He is the second leading rusher for the team. He really hadn't had a play that he's kept it. Maybe he's getting those yards from running out of the pocket.
Second and 10 for Tell City. They're in Linton territory for the first time. And here,
look at this.
Boy, they're in a lot of trouble. Looks like almost like a little screen pass.
Yeah.
It's caught by Hawhey, gets across the 40 and down to the 36-yard line. I don't know if that was a planned screen, but it took the appearance at least of that. Tell City winds up with a decent play on it, getting down to the 36-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
That actually did look like a setup screen, a perfect call for that situation. Any other type of play, and that would have been a quarterback sack from Avery Gentry. So 3rd and short, so the Marksmen now are kind of getting something going after that 15-yard penalty.
Linton on top, 34-0. Here about midway through the second quarter. There's a keeper by Miller. He is going to try to get the first down. Doesn't look like he's going to get it. He just needed 1 yard.
Faked it to the inside. Zach Figley's going to get out there along with Muir, number 3, to bring him down, and you're
It's
correct.
going to be a little bit short.
Yeah.
He needed to get to the 35, and no gain, 4th and 1. Tell City surely will go for it here.
Certainly so, and really got nothing out of that. Miller now just 1 carry.
This Tell City football team, when I was early in my broadcasting career, you just knew, and if you had to play Tell City, you were going to be an underdog because they were very, very good, very strong. And they fumbled the football.
And that
recovered by the Miners.
Avery Gentry was blitzing on the play, and the ball.
Miller, I think he took his eye off the football. He just simply mishandled the snap. It was 4th down anyway. But the fumble by Tell City gives the football to Linton.
He wasn't going to get the first down anyway. Right in the backfield, back at the 42-yard line. So the best threat by Tell City comes up short, a 6-yard loss, a fumble recovery at the 7:57 mark. Now the Miners at least got a little bit more of the field.
Leading 34-0 at their own 42, moving left to right. Tyler Muir looks over to the sideline, scans the field, takes the football, a little swing pass out to Williams to the 40, puts his head down, a flag down on the play. Williams takes the football out to the 45.
You got 2 flags down, so there must be going to be a block in the back out there.
And we've got a holding against the Miners.
Well, that's a couple of, that is now 3 penalties for the Miners for 41 yards, and holding penalties already kind of a big thing. Well, if they start calling penalties all night, Keith, it could be midnight before we get out of here.
That's typical for me. I've had some long football games.
Well, last week we were shorting out of here pretty quick.
Down to the 30-yard line where the Miners will be set back.
12-yard penalty on that play, and I'm overhearing, Keith, that the Eastern T-Birds are up on South Decatur by a pretty good score, so it looks like they might move on in their section.
Congratulations to Eastern, having one of maybe their best football season.
Well, it's their best for sure.
They got hammered pretty good by Linton, but overall it's been a good season. Tyler tucks the football and runs to the 40-45, right up to the 50, cuts it back to the outside, looks for a block, goes to the sideline. He's down to the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown. Tyler Muir, he goes 70 yards. What an explosive football player this junior quarterback is for the Miners. Tyler Muir, 70 yards and a TD.
He saw that open up immediately, Keith. The ball, as soon as it got in his hands, he turned upfield. And, boy, if you were watching on LintonMiners.com, you saw a crushing lead block by Dylan Morris, another pancake block. And then Tyler did a great job of seeing the field. Instead of going up where the two guys would have got him in the middle, he paused a little bit, went to the left, got some great downfield blocking, and a 70-yard run for Tyler. That's 2 carries, 105 yards for the junior.
Already 40-0 Linton, trying to tack on the extra point. Wilson puts it on the way and good, and with 7:35 left in the first half, all Linton, 41-0 over Tell City. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 sports production.
Well, Luke's foot's going to fall off. He's been right at 9 PATs. That's the modern-day record is 9, and he's just always had one blocked. And looks like he'll have a shot tonight. Nice kick there.
High kick down around the 15-yard line, scooped up by the Marksmen. And they'll bring it out short of the 30-yard line.
Hawhey, number 3, a nice kick again. That time Corbin, 27, and 4 Cox were 2 of them that were down there. That was a perfect kick there. That was just high. Then you get your guys downfield like that. The ball is at the 26-yard line of Tell City. Update on the score, 14-13. North Central has scored on North Knox. That sounds like a dogfight down there.
North Knox really manhandled the T-Birds during the regular season. Never know when it gets tournament time.
No, you don't.
Tell City has it, moving from right to left, their own 26. Miller, little swing pass.
Oh, he's got a big
caught
open.
by Kessinger. He's got the 40-yard line, got a first down at the 50, and he's knocked out of bounds inside the 40 of Linton, down to the 37-yard line. So their best play of the game thus far from their own 26th into the Miner 37.
36-yard gain to Kessinger, and that's 4 for 12 now for Miller. And that seems to be the play they've gone to a couple of times now. They had the play that we got the personal foul on. It was a 9-yard gain. So going to have to watch that one. In fact, last week North Central had a couple of those passes, and they missed on them. That play seems to be open against the Miners. Now they got 4 guys on one side. Oop, Stevens comes back to this side.
Byron Reed is one of them. Kessinger's one of them. Stevens lined up tight on the near side. And Hawhey is behind the quarterback, Miller, who takes the football. Little swing pass to Kessinger. Same play, other side. It's caught, and he gets inside the 30, down close to the 28-yard line. So going to get 7, 8, or 9 yards on this carry.
Yes, the same exact play except to the other side. Cox is going to make the tackle, number 4, but he got about 8 yards on the play. So
put the football down at the 29-yard line, gain of 8. So 2nd and 2 coming up now for the Marksmen, who are on the move. Trailing, though, 41-0 halfway through the second quarter here at Linton's Roy Williams Field.
Well, that'll give the Miners something to work on because that play has kind of caused us a little bit of damage.
Miller out of the shotgun, 4 receivers set, looking down the field, a little slant in, the pass is deflected. He had his tight end, or his receiver here on the near side, Brian Reed, looked like he was going to be open, but knocked down by one of the Miner linemen.
Yeah, Pierce Jackson, number 8, actually from the linebacker, got up in the air, which is what they teach you to do. If you can't get there, climb up. And now they're in a 3rd down territory. Now they're definitely giving up that running game. That running game has done nothing. 10 carries, negative 26 yards. Of course, aided by that 20-some-odd loss.
Sack, yeah, that's part of that.
You got to figure number 5 down here, Kessinger. He's had the most success.
3rd and 2 and 4-down territory for Tell City. 6:15 left in the first half. 41-0 Linton. Here they come. It's over the middle to Stevens and a little too strong. He got behind the Miner defense, but the pass was too long for Mason Stevens, junior for Tell City.
No hope there. Defense by number 10, Trent, but what made that play was big number 78, Dylan Morris, broke free and put a big hit on 22 Miller. As you see him slowly come over to Josh Teague. We're getting to the quarterback pretty good. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pressures. And we've got 2 sacks of the night, 4th and 2.
Tell City will go for it at the Linton 29-yard line. 2 receivers to each side. Now we've got a timeout called by Tell City, and Coach Teague of the Marksmen not happy with his team. As we'll remind you that our broadcast brought to you by Kramer's Tree Service, wishing the Miners good luck. For all your residential and commercial tree needs, call Kramer's Tree Service. They also offer stump grinding and free estimates. Shields Hardware in Linton, featuring the area's largest selection of electrical needs. They've also got plenty of hardware and plumbing supplies, paint and paint supplies as well at Shields Hardware, where they say go Miners. By Connie Puckett at Key Associates of Linton on Main Street, a proud sponsor of the Linton Miners. Key Associates backing the Miners all the way, as is Welch and Cornett Funeral Homes, congratulating the Miners on another great regular season and saying good luck on making this the year that they finally get over that semi-state hurdle and get all the way to the state championship game, where Lafayette Central Catholic or a Pioneer or somebody like that is waiting in the wings at Lafayette Central Catholic. They must be tremendous.
All they did was beat the number 3, number 1 team, West Lafayette, last week, put 38-20. So that's an incredible task, but I think we just enjoy being able to get over that semi-state hump.
How about the number 1 team in 2A beating the number 1 in 4A down in Evansville last week on a 2-point conversion. Gutsy. Here's Miller back, looking on 4th and 2, rolls to the far side, throws it down the field, incomplete.
Boy, he got just nowhere to throw the Miners. I don't know how many of them were back there. Figley and 78 to Morris, and at the last minute, a flag is going to come down. And Keith, I borrow this line from you all the time. That's one of those 42-0 flags. If it's against us. Yeah, the flag is way down here.
So it's almost at the goal line. The officials are getting together here. There's been no indication at this point. And it's going to be
intentional
grounding. And it's
what?
I don't agree with that. That's a terrible call. If it's intentional grounding, that's.
Well, 11 Lawrence looked to me like he was back there. Of course, we'll decline the penalty.
Well, he's out of the pocket, and he can throw the ball wherever he wants to throw it.
Got a feeling that they had to come up.
That was not a good call by the officials.
Had to come up with something to say. Maybe the penalty fell out of his pocket, but at least the Miners are going to get the ball at their own 28 now. We'll have a chance to use the whole field. But
6:02 left in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. Linton 41, Tell City nothing. The Miners have it, 1st and 10. Here's a give to Jackson, who slips, almost falls, stays on his feet, and gets a yard out to the 29.
Yeah, he's in at the running back spot, which is usually where Mason's in there too, so that might have been a different alignment. Hawhey and 56 Gain are going to make the tackle. Well, this is really when you get the opportunity offensively to work on some things and some different sets and some different kind of formations. You never know when you're might need them. It gets out to the 29.
Gain of 1 on first down. Eberhardt in one of the wing slots.
That's Miller now, Luke Miller in at tight end.
Give to Eberhardt, strings it out to the far side, turns it across the 35 and gets a first down out near the 40, it looks like.
Runs the ball hard. Kessinger, number 5, going to make the tackle, but it's a first down at looks like right at the 40-yard line.
Official will actually put the football down at the 39, 10 yards from Mitch Eberhardt on the carry.
That's 57 yards for the senior. Had 100 yards last week, and that is the Miners' 10th first down against 2 for Tell City. Keith's having all sorts of trouble with his paperwork. It's flying around on him.
Just enough of a breeze to cause me some aggravation. Linton has it first down at their own 39. Here's a give to the man in motion on the near side, Jackson. Slips again, stays on his feet out to the 45-50. And back down, first down around the 44-yard line by Pierce Jackson. He slipped and almost fell for the second straight carry and was able to keep his knee off the ground and made a first down out of that.
18 yards on the play, and that's what separates Pierce Jackson from a lot of guys. With a 41-0 lead, you slip, you almost go down. A lot of guys go down. He does not go down. He goes back into the middle of the fray, gets hit by about 6 white jerseys and gets 18 yards. That's the kind of thing you like from number 8. We saw that at North Vermilion. He didn't have a lot of yards, but 2 or 3 of those carries were gut call times.
Tyler Muir gives the football up the middle, and Mason takes the ball to the 40-yard line.
He's brought down by the 68, Miller.
Gets 3 on the play. 4 minutes left in the half. Miners up 41-0. We got second down for the Miners and about 7.
Miller is one of 2 freshmen on the Marksmen squad that is starting. He's starting at defensive end. They're going to be good the next couple of years if they can keep themselves healthy. They got a lot of young kids.
Out of the shotgun, Muir, men in motion. Eberhardt to the far side. Muir going to throw the ball over the middle, and it is caught. Short of a touchdown. Jackson with another catch over the middle. Same play or similar play that he got the touchdown on earlier. This time he takes it down inside the 10-yard line.
Well, Chase Kellums, not Kane Kellums, the junior linebacker, had blitzed, and Tyler Muir stood right in the pocket, delivered that perfect pass over the shoulder to Pierce Jackson, and Gant Miller's going to make the tackle, but the ball is at the Tecumseh Tell City 9-yard line.
This time Mason is behind Muir. Tyler keeps the football, and he gives it away, and up the middle Miners go, and touchdown Linton. And it was Mason.
Yeah,
Mason up the middle gets the touchdown, a 9-yard run.
And that one even kind of had me gasping to try to hear somebody else say who it was, because I just did not see it. Muir looked like he was going to keep it. Looked like he could have pitched it.
Fake.
Yeah, it looked like he could keep it, the ball.
3:10 left in the first half. It's 47-0 Miners.
Luke Miller has been perfect other than that first high snap. And
kick on the way
gets hit.
is
There's a flag.
Good. And there is a flag on the play. It'll be assessed on the kickoff. And on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard here at Linton, the Miners 48, Tell City nothing. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 sports production. Online at lintonrx.com.
Well, we're kicking off at their 45, and last time we saw this, he just kicked it to the end zone. You wonder when you might try to work on some sort of a. Of course, why would you kick an onside at 48-0? Nope.
Short kick, fielded at the 12-yard line by Tell City, running to the near side. Now that's Kessinger, and he gets a decent return out to the 30.
Brought down by Drake Cunningham, number 12.
3:02 left in the first half. Wonder if we'll have a running clock in the second half of play, or partial running clock.
We did not have one last week against North Central, and that was a 62-0 game.
I really agree with Travis David, one of the writers for the Greene County Daily World, and one of the columns that he wrote about. He thinks Indiana should go to the same rule as Illinois. I think when you get up by 40 points or more, there's an automatic running clock. That's a rule.
I like that rule. I'd probably go 50. And I think we will see that eventually because there's just too many of these blowout games.
A lot of disparity in football. At the 31-yard line, officially, Tell City will have it, moving from right to left. Linton up 48-0.
Oh, my goodness.
And they mishandle the snap out of the shotgun, and Miller falls on it.
That was
back at the 29.
Simply a low snap that hit him in the knees and went forward, and he just jumped on it instead of trying to pick it up.
Tell City has one first down, I believe, and that came on a Linton penalty.
Yeah,
no, I'm sorry. They did get another first down.
I got them down for 2.
But they got a nice big pass play there.
Yeah, they had that 15-yard penalty for hitting their quarterback and then had that nice long gain to Kessinger.
4 receivers, 3 to the far side. Another bad snap. Miller picks it up and tries to roll to the far side, and he's going to throw it to Stevens, and incomplete and out of bounds. But I'll tell you, Miller did a nice job saving Tell City a lot of yardage there.
Yeah, I mean, Miller's having to run for his life. There were 2 minors back there, Zach Figley and Dylan Morris, and he actually almost completed the pass to number 6. Kendall Williams did a nice job of breaking that up on the sideline. He's going to be seeing that Linton Minor helmet in his dreams for a while.
Gant Miller wears 22 out of the shotgun, throws it over the middle of the field, and it is incomplete, almost intercepted by the Miners.
Looked like a one-hopper that Tyler Muir tries to plead his case. And they're going to have to punt the ball deep in their own territory. Lots of passes tonight by Gant. He's 4 of 9, 88 yards, and most of that came on one play.
Baszler's Market in Linton, one of our football sponsors, our tournament sponsors. Baszler's features great weekly grocery specials and a wonderful selection of produce. Baszler's proudly supports the Linton Miners.
And last week, Keith, we got to 2 of these, blocked 2 of them, 1 and 3 of them actually got a hand on it and scored 1 on a recovery in the end zone.
Miller gets the kick away. Nice high kick. Brings the Miners back to the 30-yard line where Muir jets his way to the 40, turns it to the outside, and he just will not go down. That's the one thing we noticed about him. Tyler finally brought down across the 50 around the 47-yard line. We noticed right away about Tyler, as small as he was as a freshman, he is just so hard to bring down.
He just sees every time he touches the ball as an opportunity to score a touchdown, which is what you want. Sometimes he puts himself in a situation that's a little scary. He gets to the 47-yard line. Nick Smith, 54, is going to bring him down. And 1:54 to go, 48-0, and the Miners certainly have plenty of time to
tack on yet another one on the HiCom Security Services scoreboard. So at the Tell City 47, Miners have it. There's a handoff to Jackson. He gets across the 40 down to the 35, gets a first down.
35-yard line, and Pierce is brought down, looks like again by 50 or 22 Gant.
Jackson did a little bit of extra point kicking at one time.
Yep.
Would that have been during the Dylan Deisher era?
Yeah, I think the years in between there he did.
Out of the shotgun, Muir rolls to the far side, looks to throw it. Throws it to the sideline. It's caught over there. And getting all the way down to the 20-yard line, looks like Jacob Clothier on the left side.
He gets down to the 18-yard line, and Clothier's another one that just refuses to go down.
It's one thing that's really kind of rewarding is seeing the maturation process of some of these kids. They come out as freshmen, now seniors. Here's Muir, a junior, and gives the football, this time to Mason. And he gets across the 20 and short yardage on the play that time.
One of the few short yardage plays.
Gain of 1 on the play. Down to the 17, 2nd and 9. Miners moving from left to right here in the closing moments of the first half. There's a pitch to Eberhardt, stretches it out to the far side, stays along the sideline. Did he stay in bounds? He did. He got the touchdown. Eberhardt really had to lean along that sideline. He stayed in bounds somehow and scores his second touchdown of the night. And he's in for a 17-yard run.
Just unstoppable. Not Miner offense. And he's, there's the four-headed monster. One of the things that does is, when you get a chance to carry the ball, you don't know, you might get 4 or 5 carries and that's it.
36 seconds left in the first half. The Miners go up 54-0. Extra point on the way, and it is good. On the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, 54-0 Miners, back in 30, 55-0 Miners, back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports production.
Yo! Delicious frozen yogurt in Linton is the perfect destination for a cool, good-for-you treat. Come try some of our amazing flavors. Then top off the flavor of your choice with over 40 different toppings to choose from. New flavors added weekly. Stop by downtown Linton today and see why it's yo delicious.
Chance.
At 55-0, you'd have to wonder. I think at halftime, the coach's strategy is let's just try to come out and win the second half.
Well, you're trying to get something positive for next year.
Miners up here late in the first half, 55-0. Line drive kick, bounces around, fielded around the 11-yard line. Hawhee again over to the far side, gets out across the 25 and brought down around the 30. 31 seconds left in the half. Our broadcast brought to you by Elliott Insurance on Main Street in Linton. Proud to be a Linton Miner sponsor. Elliott Insurance for all your insurance needs. By the Sportsman's Pub on Main Street in Linton. Great place to talk about it before or after the game. Have your favorite steaks, seafood, and salads. Dine in or carry out at Sportsman's Pub in downtown Linton. At the 29-yard line is where Tell City has it. First down.
I got to call a timeout even.
This is their last timeout. And we'll stick around here and remind you that our tournament sponsors include Linton Veterinary Hospital and Dr. Whitman, treating all creatures big and small. Dr. Whitman, located next to CVS in Linton, says go Miners. Gene Hall and Gordon Wright at Farm Bureau Insurance. Call your friends at Farm Bureau, Becky, Erica, Gene, or Gordon. Farm Bureau Insurance, serving the Linton area for over 40 years. Goodman Heating and Cooling, Monty Goodman, your local Rheem dealer. Call Monty at Goodman Heating for a free estimate. And by Linda Goodman at Tangles. Tangle Styling Salon, Highway 54 in Linton. Trendy, modern, up-to-date styles for the entire family. Go Miners from Tangles.
What do you think of the Goodman kid that played a couple years ago? Paul Goodman at outside linebacker. We've had a lot of good small kids.
Good player.
That play with their motor on. Goodman and Trent Val was another one from those days.
They just come up through the system, and they just develop that mentality.
And every year you think, how are you going to replace a guy like that? And
somebody just steps up. Next man up. Miller looking deep, and it's incomplete. Intended on the near side by the split end, Brian Reed. Well covered by Eberhardt.
Eberhardt's done a good job tonight on the covering side of things. Boy, I hope they don't pass the whole second half like this. 65 passing yards, 5 of 19 in this first half for Gant Miller. They have negative 28 rushing.
Have they really tried to run right up the middle, though, one time tonight?
I don't think they've had any success at all. Yeah,
they've shown no propensity for even trying to really run on that defensive line.
That first series, they tried Hawley up the middle twice, and he got 2 yards. There's a quick pass.
Quick pass, and it's dropped by Reed. That one was a catchable ball.
And I think what we saw there was Kendall Williams was about ready to put the boom. We got a flag down and out about the line of scrimmage. See what that is. And personal foul against the Marksman. Well,
we're down to 25 seconds, and the clock is stopped. It's been the longest 36 seconds.
Yeah. Well, that'll be 15 yards from where that flag is.
Half the distance. So it's going to be around the 14-yard line, 14 or 15. Tell City be well served right now, just taking
just
a
to
knee.
Get out, yeah.
Linton will get the football to start the third quarter. I got a feeling we're going to be seeing an awful lot of the reserves.
Yeah, I think we'll see one series of starters coming down the field, and then I think wholesale changes. Well, I'm not sure what they did. We declined the penalty. Have you ever seen that happen before?
Yep, Miners declined the penalty, so they're going to take the down. It'll be third down and 10.
I would have thought they would have marked that off and down would have counted.
Well, now the officials are still looking and thinking and talking.
Yeah.
Not quite sure where this crew is from. Miller out of the shotgun, hands the ball off to Kessinger, tries to stretch it to the near side, turns it up. He runs out of bounds near the 40-yard line, out of bounds at the 39. He picks up 10.
He took a good hit, and he's kind of rolling around down there, Hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him. Gentry and Eberhardt. He could have doped outside, but he decided to stay, and he did a nice job of
Cameron Kessinger, 6-foot junior. He's down just across the sideline here on the near side, the Tell City side. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Hale Automotive, your automotive repair specialist in Linton. Whether it's something big, something routine, no matter what your problem, Hale Automotive will get the job done right and at a price that will fit your budget. Hale Automotive, your automotive repair shop, 169 Southeast 6th Street in Linton. Miners on top, 55-0, 17 seconds left in the first half. Injury timeout situation here.
And he may be their best player. Just got handed a note that this referee crew is from North Vermilion. So you hope Kessinger just had the wind knocked. He didn't go out of bounds. He and Eberhardt had a pretty good size hit, and then Avery Gentry came in as well. And Doc Wilson makes his way from across the field over. Doc Wilson's got to be mighty proud of his son Luke. He attended some camps this summer to work on that kicking game, and he's really been a plus for the Miners.
We're going to take a 30-second break. We'll come back on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, 55-0 Miners. This is a Media 5 sports production. seems to be okay.
20-20, North Knox, North Central in a tie.
First down, Tell City. Miller rolling in trouble. He tries to change direction, now running to the near side, tucks it, and he's going to have some room to run. He's at the 40, 45, 50, and run out of bounds at the 45-yard line of Linton. Another first down. Back-to-back first downs for Tell City. 5 seconds left in the half.
How many yards did he run to get that? That's a great play.
Yeah, he ran a lot. He's got to be pretty winded.
Coaches aren't going to be real pleased. Avery Gentry did a great job trying to track him down, but when he cut back against the grain, Caden Walker had overran the position, and he got around him. That's what enabled him to get that. You got to be able to break down at the point of attack and make that tackle.
Number 24, Whitaker Lyons, a sophomore, is taking the place of Kessinger. Probably the final play of the first half here. From the 45 of Linton, Miller throws it down the field, and it's intercepted by Trent. And he's dropped at the 20-yard line, so an interception by Trent on the final play of the first half.
And a nicely played job by Chad Trent, the Minor defensive backs, and it ends on a high note for the Miners.
We're at halftime on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. 55-0 Linton. I'm Keith Dodds with Dan Phillips. We'll be back after this timeout. This is a Media 5 sports production.
That's all right.
Yards, along with Dan Phillips. Our halftime score 55-0 in favor of the Miners.
And we're joined by Shane Huffman, who makes the trip over again. A nice night out there tonight. Perfect night for football, Shane. And the Miners came out tonight. And, of course, what you want to do in a game with a team that comes in that is heavily underdog, you don't want to give them any reason to think that they are in this ball game. And I think the Miners did a great job of that.
Yeah, they came out in the first quarter, and the Tell City didn't get into positive yards until the second quarter, so I think we set the tone pretty early there. Completely
controlling the line of scrimmage, and offensively, gosh, the four-headed monster, again, just churning up yards. And what kind of report do you have from the Miner offense right now?
Yeah, we've got 377 yards at halftime is what I've got, and and Tyler, 105 yards, our leading rusher with 2 rushes. So that's a pretty good average.
Yeah, he had none last week, so he's making up for lost time. But then the inside game of Mason and as well as Jackson and Eberhardt, just turning up the yardage, winning up front the passing game tonight. What are we looking at there?
Got 107 yards passing for Muir. He's only had 2 incompletions there, and you got Pierce with 66 yards receiving on 3 receptions, and Clothier with 41 yards on a couple receptions. So they've definitely been efficient, and that pass over the middle has been very effective.
2 of them that were excellent plays, and we kind of knew that was going to happen with the way the offense was churning up the ball. Now, the other side of the coin, just nothing going for the Tell City Marksmen. You almost kind of feel a little sorry for Gant Miller, their quarterback, as he is having to run for his life.
Yeah, that last run there, he got away. I thought for sure that was going to be a 20-yard loss. So he did a real good job of getting away from our defense and turning that into a first down, which Tell City's, that was only they've got 3 first downs total.
Yeah,
so
one of those was a penalty, so that's how they got that.
Yeah.
They've had a little bit of success on the passing game. It doesn't show it on the stats, but that swing pass to number 5, Kessinger, has garnered him a little bit of yards. But other than that, boy, he's thrown the ball in the air quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, he's got 20 pass attempts. So, I mean, that's putting it up there quite a bit. And 65 total yards is what I've got for them on their passing. And, they've had a couple of good passes there that have gone for one of them was a decent amount of yards.
The mood by the Miners, they had to come out into this conduct. They seem very, very loose. That kind of concerned me a little bit. Were they too loose? They got to be having fun right now.
They sure didn't seem like they were too loose. I talked to Ian Fonseca a little bit on the sideline.
He's never loose. What are you talking about?
He is very intense. I mean, he come off the sideline on a fair catch and said, "Hey, did you see that?" I said, "What did I see? What?" It looked like he was falling on a grenade. He said, "No, I had a good hit on that." So yeah, he's intense the entire game.
Injury-wise, I noticed Caden Walker playing a whole lot more defensive end. Is that just, you think, to get him some experience or give Garrett some rest?
I think, that would be my assumption, is to give Garrett. I've heard them talking about getting some guys in there and resting on offense or resting on defense, which I think is a good move.
Well, second half, there's no more JV contest, so you really could expect to see the JV guys in quite a bit this second half. But then on the other side of the coin, you kind of want to keep your team sharp and don't want to get too lax. We've seen the starting defense stay in pretty much the whole game, the last several. I would think the offense, though, we will see some backups.
Yeah, I would say so. I heard him mention a running clock in the second half, so the second half will probably go pretty quick. I would guess, like you said, the JV on offense probably leaving in the varsity defense.
Well, it's been a running joke, Keith, all year that Shane has not experienced any kind of great bad weather on the sideline yet.
Yeah.
He was a little nippy. What was it, last week where it was about 40 degrees and he was a little cold?
Yeah, I don't blame you.
We got hopefully we're going to be playing for 2 or 3 more weeks, so you better get ready.
I'm ready for the cold weather. I'm getting mentally prepared for it. I think that the fact that I'm down there keeping stats, that is part of the reason why we're getting some cold weather or some warm weather, so that
Good luck,
I'm nice and comfortable down there. That
you
got Lord's
short,
taking care of me.
You got shorts and a short sleeve shirt on, so I hope you've got some cold weather clothes you can break out.
I do. Trust me. It gets down about below 40. You'll see me in the full gear for sure.
I think you're going to need it before this Linton Minor run is over.
I'll look like the Michelin man coming up here.
Well, appreciate you coming up, Shane, and we'll certainly look like we're going to be talking to you next week at Perry Central.
Yes, definitely. Look forward to it, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks very much. Our halftime score on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard here at Linton, the Miners 55, Tell City nothing. We'll be back after this timeout. This is a Media 5 sports production.
Yo! Delicious frozen yogurt in Linton is the perfect destination for a cool, good-for-you treat. Come try some of our amazing flavors. Then top off the flavor of your choice with over 40 different toppings to choose from. New flavors added weekly. Stop by downtown Linton today and see why it's yo delicious.
They are right at the top of the bracket with Tell City. And below them is Perry Central at Wood Memorial tonight. Perry Central will be a 40-point favorite in that football game. The Miners were over 50-point favorite in this game. Perry Central ranked number 10 in Class 1A. So certainly looking like Tell City, or rather Linton, will be traveling to Perry County to take on Perry Central, the Commodores, next week. In the bottom bracket, North Davies playing tonight at Tecumseh, North Knox at North Central. And the Miners are a huge favorite, even though Perry Central is ranked 10th in Class 1A. The Miners would tonight, they would be a 28, make it give them 3 points for the home field, a 25-point favorite over Perry Central tonight on the road. And the highest rated team, according to the Sagarin ratings, in the bottom bracket is North Knox. And they're pretty close with Tecumseh and North Central. Those three teams are about even in terms of the Sagarin rating. North Davies lagging well behind those other three teams in the bottom bracket. So things are really lined up for a matchup next week in the semifinals. That should be a dandy. Linton at Perry Central. I say it should be a dandy. I just got a feeling this Linton football team is just going to roll right through this sectional Big D, and maybe this is only my second time this season to see the Miners play, but I've just been so impressed the times that I've seen the Miners, what I've seen in highlights, what I've seen on tape, and what I've read, and what I continue to hear about this Linton football team. And this could be something really, really special.
Well, yeah, and you got to see, probably the game of the year in North Vermilion, and that was really a 14-7 game into the last seconds when Tyler Muir scored. And we kind of worried about how we go down the stretch. Of course, we've been winning handily. As you've mentioned, the Miners have the third best SAG rating in the entire state. Perry Central is 19, so there's still quite a bit of difference between the two. You talked about North Knox. They're in a dogfight down there with North Central. Last I heard, really about 4 minutes or so left, 27-26 favor the Warriors. They would play the winner of North Knox. Tecumseh hammered North Davies, 34-0 in week 1. But Tecumseh has lost their last 5 contests, so who's to say where their mindset is in that contest? But it really, next week with Linton and Linton and Perry Central really looks like the game, and then that lines up with, I know probably 47 is looking like it could be a West Washington Eastern Green finale. I think the T-Birds are winning tonight against South Decatur, and that was going to be kind of a real test, although they're at home. But the 9-0 Senators, Keith, I believe
they're ranked 6th in Class 1A, West Washington. They've got a 50 rating point by the Sagarin, and Linton has a 69.5. So that means that the Miners would be about a 19-point favorite over West Washington, and that's where we were 2 or 3 years ago for a regional matchup. It appears if things kind of play the way they should play out, that the Miners likely probability would be that they would host the regional game with West Washington, and that means they would play on the road in the semi-state. It depends on how everything else, how the stars and the moon and the planets kind of align, and everything has to kind of fit into place. But if you just do a little projecting and look at favorites and how things could and should work out, it would be a Linton hosting West Washington in a football regional, and then perhaps going to a North Vermilion in a semi-state.
We can handle the Senators, and the Senators have kind of snuck under the wire, though they crept up there now at the number 6 position.
They have. They've kind of been a sleeper this season.
They got some attention when they beat Perry Central 31-14, but really they haven't played. They really haven't played anybody. They actually played Duggar last week or 2 weeks ago on a 58-0, and Salem is a 3A school, 3-6, and only beat them by 2. When I look at their schedule, I see a whole lot of 2-7 teams and 3-6 teams, and while Linton has beaten the only other team other than Northview to beat Sullivan, Eastern is 7-2 on their way to 8-2. So
and look what the Miners did to them.
I know, and that was for those who weren't there, it was 7-7 at the end of the one, and then the Miners ripped off 60 some odd points. And so, Springs Valley might be a dark horse in there. They're 5-4 and playing pretty good. They beat North Davies 33-0. But, boy, that West Washington game would be one that could be a trap game so much if we're there, because everybody in the world thinks we're heading back to North Vermilion. And North Vermilion's got a pretty easy road of it.
Well, they'd have to beat a Fountain Central, and there's somebody else.
And they hammered Fountain Central pretty good in the last week of the season. The other team up there is South Putnam.
Right.
Even though Sheridan is there. Sheridan at 3-6. It's hard to say where they are, but those two play each other tonight. South Putnam has lost. They beat Cascade, but they got hammered by a couple of teams. So
North Vermilion will be favored in their sectional. Indianapolis Lutheran would be favored in sectional 46. So you'd have a North Vermilion Indianapolis Lutheran regional matchup. So things get a little bit dicey. Things get a little bit interesting as you advance further in the tournament. But it's always nice for guys in our role to be able. That's part of our job is to do a little forecasting.
Throw it out there and let you guys deal with it how you think of it. And really, North Vermilion's in the same boat as Linton. Everybody thinks they're going to be there, but Indianapolis Lutheran plays a tough schedule at 5-4. Now they beat them last year, so they can do it again. And we've been up there now twice, so. We kind of, at least it's not a place, Campbellsburg or West Washington has a long way to go. And Lafayette Central and Pioneer are probably the favorites at 41 and 42. Most people across the state think that's going to be the state finale game. Whoever wins that one is going to do it. And
I'm taking a guess here also, not trying to do Charlie Carazia's job, but I would imagine that if it's a Linton at Perry Central matchup, Perry Central is only about 10 miles away from Tell City, so if it's a 7:30 start tonight at Linton, I'm sure it's going to be a 7:30 start next week.
I can't imagine that we're
at
not
Perry
at
Central.
7:30 starts the rest of the way, because that Washington, I think the Linton team didn't, or North Vermillion, they didn't arrive and till right close to it.
I'm not even opposed to a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Especially at that time of the year, and you get a little sunshine and get a little bit of warmer temperature.
Well, especially you remember how cold it was. You weren't at North Vermillion last year, but boy, that was brisk.
But I was at Eastern Hancock a couple of years ago, and it couldn't be much colder and windier.
We weren't at least on the top of the booth, and I've heard about guys up there that were frozen when they tried to come down.
Well, Tell City's going to kick off to the Miners, and Linton has Tyler Muir and Mitch Eberhardt back there.
Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. Mitch returned to kick, and so has Tyler. So both of those guys got the weapons.
Short little pooch kick, going to be caught at the 30-yard line, up to the 40, 45, down the 50, breaking it down the field.
Oh, my goodness.
And cutting it to the near sideline.
Kendall Williams.
Kendall Williams all the way down to the inside the 25 to the 23, and Kendall Williams was pretty close to breaking that one.
Well, you try to
kickoff return.
You try to kick away from the weapons, and what happens is you get a guy like Kendall Williams who nearly breaks it. He's tackled a whole bunch of guys, but 34. Kyle Powers was the one to drag him down.
That's just the difference between the Linton football program and many others in the state.
Official's got a little bit of an injury down there. The ball all the way down to the Tell City 20-yard line.
Going to actually spot it, or it looks like at the 21. And Linton will have another short field, and the first string is still out there.
Yeah, I think you'll see him I always thought you'd see him the first series, but.
Keep your eye on the clock. See if it's a running clock. It's not running right now.
Good to see Owen Sparks back out, number 70. He was out last week with an injury.
Muir out of the shotgun. Miners moving right to left. Already the 21 of Tell City. Tyler rolls to the far side, looking for Clothier. Keeps the football to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, 5. Did he stay in bounds?
It
is a touchdown for Tyler Muir on another scramble. Muir gets into the end zone on the first play of the second half.
He just wasn't going to go down, but again, big number 78, Dylan Morris. Well, I tell you what, I hope people around the state pay attention to that, because he has just been a monster from that guard position.
Tyler Muir's second rushing touchdown. He's also thrown a touchdown pass. 11:36 of the third quarter, and the Miners go up 61-0, looking to make it 62-0. Kick is on the way, and it is good. The Highcom Security Services scoreboard early in the third quarter, 62-0 Miners. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 sports production. Start as low as $19.99 a month. Plus, you get all kinds of free stuff. Free installation, free movie channels, free Hopper HD whole home DVR system, and a $50 gift on your first bill. Mike Moran will pay the first $50. Again, don't call an out-of-state 800 number. Call Mike Moran, your local guy at Midwest Satellite, 847-8848.
Thunderbirds.
Big Linton Miner football fan, by the way.
Thunderbirds score with 38 seconds to go to take the lead and probable victory away from North Knox.
Kickoff by the Miners. Bounces at the 17-yard line. Picked up by Tell City. They'll get out across the 25. And Whitaker Lyons, the sophomore, running the football on the kickoff.
And he's dropped by number 12, Cunningham, for the Miners, and boy, that's got to be a blow to the North Knox Warriors, who were 35-0. They won that game in the season.
Travis Knowlton will get a big victory. Out to the 27-yard line where Tell City will take over. It's 11:31. and the third quarter to go. Tyler Muir, a 21-yard touchdown run on Linton's first play from scrimmage in the second half. The Miners have a huge lead. This time, Miller is over center.
He's going to let that
Gant
play
Miller
clock.
going to hand the football off. Traditional run up the middle, and Hawhee keeps his feet moving, gets across the 30-yard line out to the 32. That's one of the few times that we've seen them just hand the football off and try to run up the middle. He gets out to the 33, picks up 6.
Maybe trying just to use as much clock as they can. 4 carries, 9 yards for Hawhee. The 2 linebackers, again, that was Jackson and Gentry. A couple of Miners had him at the line and kind of went for the ball.
Second down and 4. Miller hands the football up the middle to the fullback Lyons, and he'll get a couple of yards up to the 35-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Just gets a little bit out to the 35-yard line and didn't see who made that tackle, but now they're again at a 3rd and short. They've been unsuccessful on that. You got to wonder when they're going to come back to that kind of pass out in the flat, but they're certainly not set up for it. They're in double tight end.
3 backs in there as Miller on an option pitches it to Hawhee, and he is going to lose yardage back to the 30.
Just nothing there. Gant Miller couldn't keep it and pitched it out to Hawhee, who was on Dead Man's Island out there. Zach Figley, number 5, and Kendall Williams, 22, both were right there.
4th down coming up now for Tell City, and Miller will stay in to punt the football. Clock continues to move. We're at 9:50 left in the third quarter. All Linton tonight, 62-0. The Miners have scored a touchdown every time they've had a possession.
Boy, that's a heck of a game down there. I'll have to wait till after the punt, but
high snap, but Miller gets the kick away. High kick, fielded at the 41-yard line by Keaton Cox to midfield and brought down at the 47-yard line after the punt. He's in Tell City territory once again.
Nice return by Cox. And listen to this, Keith. After North Central had scored with 38 seconds left, North Knox drives to the 6-yard line, cannot get in the end zone and lose. So the Warriors are going to come up empty.
What's that final score?
I believe 33-27 or 32-27, one of the two.
First down, Linton at the Tell City 47-yard line. Tyler Muir out of the shotgun, hands the football off to the near side. And this is Mason. He gets the first down across the 35, down to the 25, across the 25, and run out of bounds around the 20-yard line.
And he's showing a burst of speed there.
Picks up 27 yards.
Running down the sideline from the 47-yard line. Gainer, number 56, was the first one to try to drag him down. And
I don't understand why the clock is not moving all the time.
27-yard gain by Mason. That's 54 yards on 7 carries.
From the 20-yard line of Tell City. Muir out of the shotgun. Man in motion. Fegley to the near side. Tyler takes the football, gives to Pierce Jackson. Runs it to the far side. Stays on his feet. Gets across the 15, down close to the 10. It should have a first down just across the 10-yard line.
Gainer, number 56, and number 60, Austin Bates, going to be on the tackle. And you can just count on the first time that Pierce is hit. Looks like he's going down. He doesn't go down. You might as well not call the number yet.
At the 9-yard line, 1st and goal for the Miners. 8:30, mark of the third quarter. And a 62-0 lead for Linton, the number 3 team in Class 1A. Here's a double handoff. To Eberhardt, right up the middle for a touchdown. Mitch Eberhardt gets into the end zone yet again. That is 1, 2, 3 touchdown runs now for Eberhardt. This one on a 9-yard scamper.
Boy, I tell you what, this offense is just I really kind of thought Tell City might
Tell
put
City
up.
just doesn't have the will to play
know.
defensively right now.
At this point, let's just get the game over with. And Wilson now, if he hits this one, will tie the modern-day record at PATs at 9.
It's on the way.
There
It
it is.
looks good. And it is. 8:14 left in the third quarter. On the Highcom Security Services scoreboard here at Linton, the Miners 69, Tell City nothing. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 sports production. What's the number of points record?
Oh, well, that's 100 and something against Sullivan. But I think we scored 75 against North Central several years ago in the Adam Brewer days. That's the most I personally remember.
Miners will kick it again. Taken at the 16-yard line by Tell City. Up to the 30 and down there. Is Lions, Whitaker Lions.
Yep, Whitaker Lions. Out to about the 32-yard line of Tell City. Well, I would imagine Coach Teague, as he came from Fort Wayne Dwenger, has not seen a whole lot of games like this one that he's been a part of. And I see Dylan Moore's coming out of the game, so we're going to get some different guys in there, try to get a look. Oh, that's big number 77, Gerald's, the sophomore, 280, defensive tackle.
From their own 31, Tell City moves left to right. Over center, there's a handoff. Lions, it looks like, gets the handoff and may have gotten a yard on the play.
That's number 44, Wheatley, is going to be the guy carrying that time. And
he's 44, and Lions is 24.
Yeah. Haven't seen Wheatley. He was listed as the starter in that offense, and he's not been out there at all. He's been the one.
Gets a yard, 2nd and 9.
Trying to see who else we got in there. Looks like everybody else. Oh, we have Ian Fonseca in for Pierce Jackson.
By the way, the kid that was injured, Cameron Kessinger for Tell City, is not going to return. His pads are off. There's a handoff to Hawhee, and he gets it out to the 33-yard line, so they're getting yardage one at a time.
And Gerald gets his name on the radio quick with a tackle, and a big hit also by Avery Gentry, number 31. And getting out to about the 33-yard line.
3rd and 8 coming up for Tell City. Linton at Perry Central next week. Probable kickoff 7:30. Probable airtime 7 o'clock as Darren Clayton will return. Sure has been good, Big D, being teamed back up with you again. I'm not trying to turn this into a love fest, but you do so many things to help the play-by-play guy. There's a nice pass and catch over the middle at the 45-yard line by Mason Stevens. Your pregame work is absolutely second to none. In fact, there's a long distance between you and the number 2 guy.
Well, that's great to hear, because I sure appreciate the opportunity to do the games. And I know you enjoy doing that Castle game, but you gotta love the minor environment. It's
absolutely. I would have been very happy here with Linton again this year. In fact, it was easy to actually go down south just simply because I had 2 guys I could trust so fully to carry on the broadcast with Darren and yourself.
Darren will be all sunburnt coming back to Las Vegas.
There's a keeper by the quarterback, Miller. He gets out across the 50 down to the Linton 48.
And that was a tackle on Miller by Miller. Number 41, Luke Miller, is going to make that tackle. We missed the pass to Stevens that actually got him a first down and kept the ball in their hands.
Clock is down to 5:40 here in the third quarter. Miners up 69-0. And Gant Miller, the senior quarterback, stays over center, playing his last high school football game. Hawhee, the lone tailback. There's a pitch back to a man in motion, Lawrence. He tries to stretch it out and rack for a loss.
Caden Walker, number 55, getting a lot of action at defensive end tonight. We got 3 excellent defensive ends in Figley, Mason, and Walker.
And he loses yardage back into Tell City territory at the 47, so a loss of 5.
20 rushes, 5 yards is what I have Tecumseh at. They have 78 passing yards on 6 of 22. 83 total yards for the Tell City Marksmen.
Now out of the shotgun, Miller on 3rd and long. Takes the football, quick throw over the middle, and Lawrence drops it. Again, that pass should have been caught.
Yeah, that one was put right in his hands, and immediately right there was Trey passing. But that one should have been caught. There's been about 3 of those tonight, it looks like.
And the clock stops at 4:35, so we are not playing with a running clock.
Yeah, that's a little surprising at 69-0. You would hope the fourth quarter would be different.
Tell City will go into punt formation.
Bill Smith, 23, going to be out there. He's had a kickoff return for a touchdown, and he's quite the speedy guy. Keaton Cox is joining him.
Miller will boot it away. Nice punt. Smith runs over to the 18, makes the catch. There's a flag on the play.
Oh, no.
This one's going to come back as Smith carries the football across the 35 to the 36, but flags all over the place around the 17, 18-yard line.
Yeah, well, fortunately, Billy didn't break that one for a touchdown run, or that would have been bad. But 2 flags down on about the 20-yard line, so we're going to be down inside the 10 or close to it.
Well, the Miners have scored touchdowns on every possession, and Tell City has either turned the ball over or had to punt on every possession of theirs. Now the Miners are going to be pushed back to their own 4-yard line. Well, they've started a drive at the Tell City 4.
Yeah.
Now they'll have to start at their own 4-yard line, moving from right to left with 4:23 left in the third quarter on the HiCom Security Services scoreboard, a 69-0 lead for Linton. Safe and secure to advance to the semifinals. They were a 53-point favorite in this football game, according to the Jeff Sagarin computer system.
And they were off by just a little bit.
Miners first down. Give over on the far side. And Pierce Jackson stopped short of the 10-yard line. Short gain on the play.
76 Trent Litherton, a junior out there, along with Alston Bates, number 60.
Football down at the 9-yard line. Gain of 5 for Jackson. And the Miners have a new quarterback, Trey Passon, in there for Muir. Gives the football to Keaton Cox. He's got some room to run. A first down over to the far sideline. Dances along the sideline out to the 40. It's a foot race now at the 50 to the 40. Breaks a tackle and he's going to score. He broke the tackle at the 30-yard line or around the 25, and then Keaton Cox able to just run it right in on a 91-yard touchdown scamper.
Wow. You just kind of get lost for words. That's the guy who hadn't played all year until last week, and everybody raves about what kind of athlete he's going to be, and he goes 91 yards.
And now Wilson's got a chance to break a school record with his 10th extra point.
You like to see this opportunity for a kid that's put in that kind of work. Yeah, I'm sure his father's extremely proud right now.
Kick is on the way. It's low, and he
got
able to get it. I wasn't sure if he didn't push it to the near side, but it's good. And a 10th extra point for Wilson on the HiCom Security Services scoreboard. here at Linton with 3:25 left in the third quarter. The Miners 76, Tell City nothing. I'm Keith Dodes with Dan Phillips. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 sports production. Favor of Linton. First round sectional action. Kick is end over end, fielded at the 15-yard line by Hawhee at the 25 and goes down at the 27.
Kendall Williams, the first one to get there, number 22. Wow, about the 26-yard line or so, 27-yard line.
So North Central, we know, has advanced in the bottom bracket of sectional 48. They came from behind and beat North Knox. Close ball game pretty much throughout. Got their 6th victory of the season. The T-Birds will play either Tecumseh or North Davies next week in a sectional semifinal. Linton will be at Perry Central next Friday night. Actually, we haven't gotten any scores. I'm just taking for granted that Tell City or Perry Central is going to beat Wood Memorial. I don't mean to diss Wood Memorial, but I just don't see them staying in that game. Here's a give to Hawhee to the 30, tripped up and falls down at the 33-yard line, gains 6.
Dropped down by Corbin, number 27. Well, I think you're pretty safe in that.
Wood Memorial's 0-9.
And it was a 41-0 Commodore win with a backup quarterback. Wood Memorial keeps on trying. They got a couple of good kids, but just had a tough time this year. And the Tecumseh, that game was a 34-0 Tecumseh win early, but we've already seen one team get revenge.
After losing 35-0 during the regular season. Wilson gives the ball to Hawhee again. He gets it to the 35, picks up a couple, 3rd and short coming up. 3rd and maybe 2.
Oh, but he's getting up slow. It was a tackle by number 50, Ian Fonseca.
Right at the 35-yard line, so 3rd and 2 for Tell City.
They would dearly love to get a first down. Now we're seeing Chance Howard at middle inside linebacker. He's lively. The guy Fonseca will be back next year. Corbin and Miller at the outside linebackers. Bill Smith is at safety. Eberhardt, Passon are the 2 cornerbacks.
Full house backfield for Tell City. Give is to one of the up men, 44. That's Stephen Wheatley, and he's close to a first down.
Well, they're going to give it to him, of course. Chance Howard, 52, gets up off the bottom, along with Corbin and Gerald's, number 77.
First down, Tell City. We haven't been able to say that too often.
No. And that was really a close one there. They probably could have measured that, but
that's a 76-0 first down.
There you go. Gerald's at one of the tight ends. 63 is Fig. He is at the defensive end position.
Again, full house backfield. Miller over center. The give again is to Wheatley up the middle. Gets a yard, maybe a couple.
And nowhere to go. Fonseca, Gerald's. And Gerald's on the bottom of that pile. Big number 77. You got to love the fact he's just a sophomore.
And the carry is out to the 39, a gain of 2, 2nd and 8. We're down close to a minute left in the third quarter. Miners with 4 touchdowns in the first quarter, 4 more in the second. They led 55-0 at the half, 3 more touchdowns here in the third period. And right now they have blanked the Marksmen.
Looks like Josh Warnock is at the other defensive tackle.
There's a give for a short gain to the 40, and that was Hawhee.
Howard again in on the tackle, and looking at number 63, Fig gets in there on the tackle as well.
If you're wondering exactly what we're saying, it's Hawhee, H-A-W-H-E-E. If you think about hee-haw and just reverse it, Hawhee.
I've been trying all night to avoid trying to do that. at the 40-yard line.
Tell City would not have to run a play here. Down to 10 seconds left in the quarter. 3rd down. And down to 3 to 2. They are going to snap the football, throw it over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Lawrence. It'll be 4th down when we come back for the 4th quarter after 3 periods of play on the HiCom Security Services scoreboard. Linton 76, Tell City nothing. Back in a minute. This is a Media 5 sports production. Well, we start the 4th quarter. Tell City looking at a 4th down and 7.
And they're going to go for it.
Moving now from right to left. Miller this time is in the shotgun. Whitaker Lyons is to his left. Rolls to the far side, throws it to the sideline, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver over there, number 11, Davin Lawrence. So Linton will get the football back at the 40-yard line of Tell City, leading 76-0 on the HiCom Security Services scoreboard, 11:49 to play in the game.
Yeah, you're kind of giving us the ball short field again. And the clock is not running from the 48-yard line of Tecumseh. I keep saying Tecumseh.
Chase Howard, a freshman, is out there.
Drayden Ward is going to be at quarterback, so we are getting the youngsters out there. Cunningham, a running back, Corbin, and you'll see Chase Howard, number 7, probably the smallest player I've ever seen. But I've seen him carry the ball out there, and he's hard-nosed.
And we've got a penalty against the Miners. Procedure call. Drayden Ward, the sophomore quarterback, out there. The Miners now will be at 1st and 15 from the 45-yard line of Tell City.
Garrett Mason sprints off the field to the locker room, and doesn't seem to be any problem. Maybe nature is calling. Try to get a look at that line, and I'm guessing that Warnock's going to be out there. Gerald is going to be out there. Noah Clark is at tight end.
There's a double handoff to Howard that really goes nowhere, may have lost a yard.
Wheatley, number 44, is going to be the first one to get there. And, of course, it's the first team Tell City defense.
Cody Corbin out there, number 27, one of the wing-back positions.
I see
Drake Dunningham, a freshman, also out there. And we got movement by the line, by the Miners. Costs 5 more yards. It's going to go back across the 50 to the 49-yard line.
Well, we're going backwards.
2nd and 21.
61, Trevor Hill is out there. 63, Ryan Figg is out there. Center is Warnock. And I believe 73 is Jarrett Hazelwood is at the guard position.
Miners up 76-0, 10:50 left in the game. Corbin in motion takes the football to the far side. Got some room to run. He gets back into Tell City territory, stopped short of the 40-yard line. Gets across the 45.
Gainer's going to make the tackle, 56.
Going to put the football down at the 44-yard line of Tell City. Third down for the Miners. And again, Linton has scored a touchdown on every possession. Of course, we've got the junior varsity kids for the most part out there right now.
And 27, Corbin has really had some nice runs as well from that wing back. But
Mason took his shoulder pads off. That's why he went to the locker room. There's a give for no gain.
That's Cunningham right up the middle. And just these senior guys that are out there, 76 Litherland is the first one there, along with it looks like 24 Lyon.
Fourth down for the Miners, and they'll punt the football. Drake Cunningham, a freshman, on that carry. Lost a yard back to the 45.
I got some confusion
First
out
punt
there.
of the night.
And this is not the normal punter. Oh, it's a JV team.
Yeah, it's Cunningham back to kick. Bounces, takes a minor roll down to the 10-yard line.
Nice kick. Nice job by Cunningham.
Tell City has it at their own 10, 9:14 left to play in the football game. Miners up 76-0 on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. I'm guessing a kickoff next Friday at Perry Central at 7:30. Could be 8 o'clock. We'll just have to get that official word early in the week.
Well, you definitely see the JV defense out there, so this is where I never quite understood. The other team leaves their starters in. Of course, it was my last game I'd want to play as well.
They just like to have a little mental victory and get some points.
Yeah.
Miller hands the football off. Hawhee carries it out to the 20-yard line. Should have a first down.
Smith and Mossberger are going to make the tackle on the outside.
Going to be second and short. Clock is moving. And Howard is out there still on defense.
Yeah. Lyons is coming off the field limping a little bit.
Miller, the senior quarterback,
They're going to go to
rolls
the air.
to the near side. Ball
Pick it
is
up, pick it
nearly intercepted, batted up in the air, and it falls incomplete.
Almost picked up by Bill Smith. A nice defensive play by the Miners to break that up. Miller was the one who broke that up.
Talk about seeing it in your sleep. Bill Smith will be seeing that ball in his sleep.
Well, you got to question why Tell City would even try to pass the ball. It stops the clock at 8:22. That's just like you said, trying to get a score. Third down and just short.
It's a big difference going home 76-0 or 76-7.
That's true.
Handoff up the middle. It's going to be a short gain on the play by Wheatley.
Wheatley is.
They got enough for the first down. They didn't need much, only a couple. Gets out across the 25, out to the 26.
Chance Howard and Cunningham combine on the stop out to the 26, as you said. Wheatley now 4 carries for 9 yards. And the clock can't move quick enough. Burris is going to be at the right defensive end position, 72.
76-0 Linton. Handoff, Hawhee up the middle. He's got some yardage out across the 30, out to the 33. Going to get around 7.
Corbin
second down, clock moving.
On the tackle from outside linebacker position. 11 carries, 33 yards for Jarrett Hawhee, the senior, for one of the 3 seniors that starts on offense.
Over center, Miller on a keeper.
Nice play. Corbin, 27, out there to make the tackle. And
short gain.
Corbin.
Third down coming up. Actually, they're only going to get out to they're going to lose a couple of yards.
Yeah, back to
the 31.
Corbin makes a lot of plays from that outside backer and has shown he can run the ball well from wingback, has a couple of nice kickoff returns. So he's a kid that's going to get an opportunity next year as a senior to probably step into one of those outside linebacker positions.
From the 31, looks like 3rd and 4. Miller has Whitaker behind him. Miller on a keeper around the far side, has a first down at the 40, stays on his feet, and is brought down across the 50-yard line. First down, Tell City, as they want to get a score here. Middle of the 4th quarter. Into Linton territory at the 48-yard line. At this point, if you're Tell City, anything is going to be considered just a snippet of a victory or a positive.
Evan Phipps, one of the minor seniors, getting some action in there, recovering from injuries that he's had most of the year.
And Miller stays over center. Hawhey in motion. He gets a pitch back. Sizes it up at the 45-40. Got some room to run all the way down to the 30-yard line of Linton.
Cunningham's going to bring him down. The starting defense is over there cheering on these JV kids to keep them out of the end zone.
Spot of the football is going to be around the 32, so 16 yards for Hawhey on the carry.
And now he's got 13 carries for 70 yards, but 37 of that came in the last 2 plays.
Well, if you've got any of the Tell City players on your fantasy football team, you're going to be picking up some fantasy football points right now. You know it?
Yes, indeed. He's probably going to get some
more. If you had Hawhey on your fantasy team, you want him to carry the ball. He got 16 yards there. They all count the same. There's a give up the middle. And a short gain on the play, 34, Kyle Powers, a freshman. He takes the football down to the 27, so picks up 5.
Tackle by Craig Gretline, a sophomore, 5'10", 270.
5:20 left in the game. And the Miners leading 76-0. Linton has not scored here in the 4th quarter. Tell City has been able to take some time off the clock, a couple of drives. Miller pitches back. Whitaker, he gets across the 25, down to the 23, stays in bounds. And it's going to be about a yard short of a first down, it appears.
Wheatley carries the ball 44, and he's got a nice little burst of energy down to the 23-yard line. Chance Howard gets another tackle.
3rd and 1 for Tell City. 4:35 left in the game. Tell City huddled up. Comes to the line. Tell City probably didn't bring 50 people.
And of those 50, I wonder how many of them have already headed back.
Oh,
there you go.
A loss on the play back to the 25. That time a busted play as Miller looked to pitch to somebody, and his man in motion was nowhere to be found.
Already past him, and Cunningham, number 12, was right there to make the tackle, and that sets up a 4th down. And
3 or 4, probably 3 yards. Coming back in is Whitaker Lions.
Boy, about everybody's out there getting some action.
Tell City obviously will go for it at the 25 of Linton. Now we're going to have a timeout called by the Marksmen. 3:33 left in the football game on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. Linton 76, Tell City nothing. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 sports production.
Yo! Delicious frozen yogurt in Linton is the perfect destination for a cool, good-for-you treat. Come try some of our amazing flavors. Then top off the flavor of your choice with over 40 different toppings to choose from. New flavors added weekly. Stop by downtown Linton today and see why it's Yo Delicious.
Silas Jennings with Richard Brown Insurance, one of our Linton football sponsors, and he's on the Linton coaching staff.
A whole lot of Jennings on the coaching staff on that sideline.
Tell City looking at 4th and 3. Gant Miller, senior quarterback in the shotgun. Back to pass, looking, throws it into the end zone, and it is caught. A nice diving catch for a touchdown for Brian Reed. And Tell City is on the board.
Got some pressure from Chance Howard. Almost got there, but a nice throw across the middle. And Reed got behind the defense and made a nice diving catch.
That was a nice catch.
So with 3:31, the Marksmen are going to get in the end zone. Whitaker Lyons is the kicker. Try to convert his lone attempt of the night.
And just like I said, it's a whole lot easier. I don't want to say easier, but certainly a little better to say that you lost 76-7 than 76-0. Well, it might be 6.
Might be 8.
They're going to have to scramble it for a 2-point conversion. They're going to get it. The holder was the quarterback, Miller, on a bad snap, and Miller takes it in for the 2-point conversion. And on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, 3:31 left in the football game. It's Linton 76 and Tell City 8. That sounds better than 76-7, doesn't it?
You got to feel better about it.
You go back and your girlfriend wasn't listening to the game anywhere and she says, how'd you do? And says, well, we lost 76-8. That's better than saying 76-0.
Or better yet, if you hadn't turned on the game at all and just thought you'd catch the tail end of it. I don't know that the signal reaches that area.
On the internet. Maybe some people tuned in.
And you think you're ahead 8-0.
3:31 left to play. And Tell City will kick off.
Well, let's hope we don't see an onside kick here.
It's only the second time tonight they've kicked off.
I believe it's Whitaker Lyons, number 24, going to kick the ball. The last time he kicked, if you recall, it was Kendall Williams that nearly returned it for a touchdown.
Got Bill Smith and Cody Corbin back deep. This kick is going to squib.
Oh, it's not going to go.
Better grab it. And Smith does and goes out of bounds with it at the 23. That was just too close to just let it die or think it's going to go out of bounds. So a good job by Smith and a good quick decision. The 22-yard line. Miners have it, leading 76-8.
So we'll get some more guys probably get some action out there, although it looks like the JV offense with Warnock at center, Gerald's and Fig at the tackle position, Howard, and I believe that is possibly Gretline at the guard position. Miller is now at the running back slot.
Ward stays in at quarterback. Gives the football away, and that's Corbin. Takes the football out across the 30 and close to a first down.
But he runs the ball hard, as does Miller, Litherland, number 76, and I believe they still got 22 Gant Miller out there.
2nd and 1 for the Miners, moving from left to right. Final 3 minutes of the football game. Be good to see the Miners pick up a first down here and then just be able to run this clock out and end this football game.
A little short-handed where the Marksmen. Boy, that's a long trip the Marksmen got to go. Now here comes a – nope, didn't get it. Flag out. Oh, big.
First down up the middle out to the 39-yard line.
Luke Miller, another one of those guys as a junior. Uh-oh, number 56, Gaynor, gets up a little gimpy. A junior, he's the leading tackler for the Marksmen.
Miners have a first down at their own 39. Be able to run more time off the clock now. Obviously, they'll keep the football on the ground. Cunningham in motion, takes the football to the near side, hit in the backfield, and dropped inbounds for a loss, back to the 36. Loses 3 on the play, loses his helmet. He'll have to come out for a play.
Kellums comes over and makes the tackle, 28. A lot of underclassmen on this team.
2 minutes left to play.
They only lose Hawhey, the running back, Miller, the quarterback. The guard, Javier Mendez. Really, those are the only 3 I see seniors. There's a couple others listed, but one's in street clothes tonight.
Bill Smith split wide to the far side. It's a double handoff, and they fumble it, and Tell City has it.
Well, that's what you don't want to see happen, and 28 Kellums is going to recover it.
Linton turns the football over with their first turnover of the night, a fumble.
Well, that's not what you want to see happen if you're the Miners, because with 1:31, that gives them a good opportunity to put more points and make it look even better.
Takes over, does Tell City at the Linton 32. 76-8 on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. 1:31 left to play. Tell City comes back to the line. Well, it's a whole lot better to tell your girlfriend you lost 76-15 rather than 76-8. Here's a give to Hawhey. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage and loses yardage back to the 35.
Corbin and Cunningham. Cunningham is just a sophomore, doing a nice job. At the 35-yard line of the Miners. Hawhey now 67 yards, 14 carries, I should say. Cunningham, I said he was a sophomore. Keith, he's just a senior. He's just a freshman.
We're under a minute left to play. Tell City not in a big hurry. Over center, Miller pitches it back.
Ooh.
And there's a flag on the play as that play goes nowhere with Wheatley.
Boy, that was a crunching hit by one of the Miners out there, and Wheatley gets up a little gimpy. And
Miners are going to decline this penalty.
I wish I'd seen who made that hit. That was a pretty good size hit.
Makes it 3rd down.
Decline the penalty.
Take the down. Now the clock moves. We're down to 35 seconds left. This could be the last play of the game.
Well, you hope you get through the night without losing anybody to any kind of an injury or aggravate anything. Haven't really seen anything other than Tell City lost a guy to a shoulder injury. He's going to go in the air.
Back to pass. Miller in trouble. Throws a wobbler. Incomplete at the 20-yard line with 12 seconds left. Be 4th down. This will be the final offensive play most likely for Tell City. Maybe the last play of the game.
Yeah, it's 4th down. It's 3rd down, isn't it?
I think this is 4th down, actually.
Yeah, I do too. They got it as 3rd, but we had a Hawhey run, a Wheatley run, a penalty that was declined, and a missed pass. Should be 4th down. Makes no difference, really. 12 seconds in the game. Here comes Reed, number 88, so you got a feeling.
I'm going to throw one to the end zone.
They're going to go deep. They want to get a quick 7 points. In fact, I'm so confident, I'm already going to put past 22 in my book.
He's out of the shotgun. He does have Hawhey behind him. Bad
there
snap.
You go.
He picks it up. Still
get to him.
Looking. He's going to throw it up for
grabs.
Get
there. You got it. That's right. Number 7.
Intercepted by Howard.
There you go.
The little guy, number 7, with an interception and 4 seconds left to play.
Well, that is awesome. Snap over the head didn't help Gant Miller's opportunity, but he fired it over towards Lawrence's area. And the freshman,
Howard,
the younger brother of Chase, and he's a lot of jersey on that boy.
And the Miners will be able to likely just take a knee here with 4 seconds left. And we'll think about the semifinals next week on the road at Perry Central.
Well, that's a game I'm sure Perry Central has hoped to have.
Takes the knee, and the football game is over. Our final score on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, Linton 76, Tell City 8. We'll be back after this timeout. This is a Media 5 sports production. First 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 possessions. First 11 times they touch the football, they get into the end zone. They led it 27-0 after 1, 55-0 at the half, 76-0 after 3. Tell City does score a fourth quarter touchdown at 76-8 as the final, and a new point after touchdown record set by Luke Wilson.
Yes.
Kicking extra points, 10 of them tonight, so congratulations to him. Linton advances, and will play in the sectional semifinals next week.
That breaks the record that was held by Bowers. An unusual situation. Bowers came in to kick as a sophomore when J.P. Muir's other son, Josh, had a toe injury, and he got 9 against North Central, and then the next year he was playing at North Davies. So we had a record holder that was a North Davies Cougar. So tonight that goes by the books, and Luke Wilson takes over with 10 of them. Now, I was told that the original record was a ridiculous amount. Tom Dawson texted us, and one of them, it was like a 70-some, or I don't know how many that he kicked. And it was probably that 129-point game, which is hard to imagine. I'll tell you what, though, it isn't hard to imagine with the exciting team Linton has that they couldn't score 100 in some of these games if they turned them loose and let them do it.
Well, and tonight would have been one of those nights had the starter stayed in. But, of course, the goal is to
be healthy.
To get a big lead, to win the football game easily, rest some kids, and that's exactly what the Miners were able to do. And
the other thing I really think is there is a level of sportsmanship. There is something, too. If you're ahead that much and you got a team beating that good, does it truly benefit you to run a guy 30 times and give him 455 yards in a game, or do you let other guys get an opportunity? And we constantly let a lot of these JV kids get a lot of action in varsity, and we get to see a little bit of who's going to be what. You and I have done this for several years, and we can remember Austin Hale as a sophomore. You remember some of these other kids as sophomores are going, they're going to be tough. And they prove it a little bit on that varsity field, and it gives them an opportunity. And I take that any day over an 80-0 win.
3 touchdown runs by junior running back Garrett Mason tonight. We got a couple of touchdowns from Pierce Jackson, a couple from Mitch Eberhardt. Actually, 3 touchdown runs from Mitch Eberhardt as well, on runs of 1 yard, 17 and 9.
A lot of writing on that paper, Keith.
Tyler Muir got was responsible for 3 touchdowns, 2 running and 1 passing. So that diversified, deep, and versatile Linton offense was on classic display here in the football game tonight.
Oh, they did exactly what you wanted them to do, Keith. They came down and just defensively stuck them, and offensively were just unstoppable. And I keep forgetting we don't have a stat guy coming up, but the Miners with 456 rushing yards, 12.7 yards per carry, led by 126 yards from Tyler Muir on just 3 carries, 8 for 83 Pierce Jackson, 8 for 83 Mitch Eberhardt, 7 for 54 for Garrett Mason. And then we had a lot of other guys. Luke Miller with 1 for 9, Cody Corbin 2 for 15. Another big run, 2 carries, 95 yards, and a touchdown for Keaton Cox. 5 of 7 passing for 104 yards, 1 touchdown. That touchdown went to Pierce Jackson. He caught 3 for 65, and the other 2 passes went to Jacob Clothier for the Miners. 104 passing, 456 rushing, 560 yards of offense. That's got to be, I have to check my record books to see where that falls. And defensively, going to be a little bit misleading. Hawhee ends up with 67 yards on 14 carries, a lot of that in mop-up duty. Gant Miller, he just had a night of toughness all night long. 10 carries, negative 16 yards. Wheatley, 6 for 12, 3 for 10 for Cameron Kessinger, went out with an injury. Overall, 36 carries, 76 yards, just 2.1 per carry. And Gant Miller passed the ball 29 times tonight, completed 7 of them, 104 yards. 1 of them a touchdown to Brian Reed. He had the 1 catch for 26-yard touchdown, 3 catches for Kessinger for 51, and 2 interceptions by the Miners tonight as we see Coach with indeed a smiling face on his noggin as he makes his way up here to the highly and he notices the pizza's over in the corner probably.
It's about time.
He's a little fired up. Coach, you got to love how your Miners came out tonight and established themselves defensively, and then offensively just really had their way with the Tell City Marksmen.
Yeah, we talked pregame tonight about we played a lot of these teams in our sectionals. We've been able to, be honest with you, beat them, all these teams in our sectional before. This is new. They never experienced us before. So it was vital for us to come out and take it to them right from the get-go and to let them know who we are and how we play football and set that tone. And luckily, we was able to do that tonight.
Well, all I know is that they really could not do anything offensively up the middle. They got some yards towards the end. They had 76 rushing yards, a lot of that towards the end. The only play they really had any success for was the little pass to number 5 out of the backfield. But the play.
Yeah, on that one there, I mean, Coach Mark knew it well. We were bringing Pierce off the edge, and whenever that guy went in motion, Pierce probably should have checked out of it, but he went ahead and went, and so I left that guy uncovered there. So, I mean, that was a great play on them. We just missed it there.
Yeah, and then let's talk about Caden Walker tonight. Gets a lot of play at defensive end tonight. Gosh, he was in the backfield quite a bit. In fact, all night long, the Miners were in the backfield and Gant Miller. Tell me about Caden Walker. I mean, he's a junior. He's a kid that probably starts anywhere else in the area.
Well, he starts offense for us, and
That's
now
true.
but we're fortunate we got 3 good defensive ends. We got Zach Figley, Garrett Mason, and Caden Walker, and that's what helped us be able to move Demo into defensive tackle. And so now we can rotate those guys and rest some of those guys for offense or defense. And now with Caden really picking it up and our defensive ends are playing a lot better, we're able to rotate those guys in. And Caden was just able to play a little bit more because Zach, he's got a tender back right now, so we got up. We're just resting him.
I remember the hit he got last week on that touchdown.
So.
Your offense tonight, Coach, 456 yards of rushing, 107 yards of passing, 560 total yards. The four-headed monster. Now you almost could say five-headed monster because Keaton Cox breaks a 91-yarder. What do you work on now as you come into Perry Central next week?
Well, we still had little mistakes. I mean, the penalties I'm not okay with, but that happens. I mean, we're going to have a holding penalty every now and then, different things like that. But we just got to still keep getting better. There's a lot of little mistakes that we're missing on linebackers, missing down blocks on wings, just little different small assignments that we still need to correct, and we're almost there. We're not playing as perfect, but we're not peaking, but we keep getting better each week.
You don't want to be peaking yet
anyway. No, not at all.
Luke Wilson tonight, 10 extra points. That breaks the record of 9.
I thought it was. He was coming off celebrating, and that's great for that kid. I mean, he's put so much time into the offseason to get himself ready. 2 weeks ago, he talked about it. I said, we don't talk about records. I said, if it happens, it happens. I said, you start thinking about it and things doesn't happen. We didn't talk about it. He went out there and he kicked that last one. He knew what he did.
Yeah.
So it's a great accomplishment from him, showing the hard work that he's actually put in.
Your guys that came in tonight a little dinged up, did we get through the night without it making that any worse?
Yeah, I think we're good. I don't think no one's laying over there needed ice or anything, so we came out pretty clean. We still got bumps and bruises.
You will. At week 10, you're going to have that kind of stuff.
Our kids won't heal till January, and that's what we told them when first day practice. This is the greatest you're going to feel now. Come January, you'll feel better, but until then, you won't. So we came out okay, no injuries, just a little sores here and there, but nothing dramatic, and then we'll be okay for the long road trip next week down to Perry.
We don't know that unless Wood Memorial pulled off the shocking upset, we figure Perry Central's coming next week. 3rd year in a row that we're heading down there. Initial thoughts on the Commodores?
Well, I don't know how this works out. Steve was head coach for all these years, and 8 years we go down there. Yeah. And I get it, and now we go down there 3 years in a row. But it is what it is. And the Perry, I mean, a lot of tradition between both programs, a lot of respect between us, and Coach Gibson does a great job down there. They lost one game this year, and I think they lost their quarterback, but I heard he might be coming back. So we don't know for sure, but we just know we're going to go down there, and it's going to be a hostile environment. It's going to be a tough game for us, and that's what we expect when we go. When Linton Perry plays, it's usually going to be a good game.
They've got their typical 1,000-yard rusher in Jacob Braun, who we paid last week as well. You probably didn't hear on the sideline, but North Central scores with 30 seconds to go to take the lead. North Knox drives to the 6th. Fails to score, so North Central kind of comes back and upsets the North Knox Warriors.
I called that.
We didn't hear anything about North Davies or anything like that, so we don't know what's going on there. But, Coach, I just know you're happy to get this first game under the belt. Everybody was kind of wondering, new team, would we be as fired up? They kind of came up with thinking that they played some tough teams in Heritage Hills, but I think they'll go home and remember the Linton Miners.
I agree with you, too. That's the thing. We didn't know much about them. They didn't know about us. And you always have those first game jitters in the playoffs, how the kids are going to come out and play. Mm-hmm. And what showed tonight. We came out and responded really well and was able to play exceptionally well on all phases of the game tonight.
Congratulations,
Go enjoy some of that pizza.
Will do. Thank you, guys.
Right. Okay.
Thanks, Coach.
Linton head coach Brian Oliver. It's his football team wins tonight 76-8. And Big D, that leaves us with only one more thing to do, and that's to announce the REMC star of the game.
Well, as has been the case every week, Keith, it's almost impossible to pick one guy out of a game like this who could possibly – don't tell me we're out of pizza.
Oh, no. Got pepperoni. I was about to, there's a couple of sausage there.
But I'll tell you what we'll do, though. 10 extra points tonight, kicked off 10 times tonight. The hard work that he's done in the offseason, as Coach talked about. I think Luke Wilson, let's celebrate the fact that he we didn't know who was going to kick the ball this year, Last year we had a couple of guys, Pierce Jackson's nice that Pierce doesn't have to do it. You feel pretty confident with Luke Wilson because he's hit a couple of field goals. So we'll go with Luke Wilson tonight, although a whole host of Miners could have had it.
Congratulations, Luke Wilson, tonight's star of the game for being named star of the game. REMC is pleased to donate $50 to the Linton Athletic Department. That's from Utilities District of Western Indiana, REMC, a strong supporter of local and area high school sports. Next Friday, Miners will travel to Perry Central. It'll either be a 7:30 or 8 o'clock kickoff. If it's 7:30, we'll be on the air at 7 with the pregame show. If it's 8, we'll be on the air at 7:30. So just tune in at 7 and just keep it locked in. We'll have all the action right here from Dan Phillips, and Darren Clayton will come back for the play-by-play call. Again, our thanks to Katie Sullivan back at the station. For Dan Phillips, I'm Keith Dode saying good night from Roy Williams Field in Linton, where our final score on the HighCom Security Services scoreboard, Linton 76, Tell City 8. Good night, everyone.